Welcome to the club.
My club are mental, aren't they?
21 is coming. You're chatting gas.
Embarrassing.
Off, ref!
Most toxic fan base in the world are Arsenal.
Liverpool, the worst champions ever.
Welcome back to the club. Huge game. Chelsea versus Spurs.
We're doing the big game this week.
This is massive for both sides.
Oh, God.
And I am pro Lily Whites. That's what I can say.
We're all Spurs today,
There's never...
100%.
I feel like there's
Spurs
rules
today.
in the game. I appreciate like you being rivals and you being funny, but not today. I think there has to
No,
be...
but you celebrated Real Madrid.
Yeah, because I'm a Real Madrid fan.
When Real Madrid
because I'm
scored, you went like this. You were like that.
Because I'm a Real Madrid fan. You're not a Tottenham fan.
I'm now a Tottenham fan. I'm on loan to Tottenham.
Just not today, lads. Like, I feel like it's fair to do it. You know when there just has to be rules in the game?
Yeah.
You can't support Tottenham.
But then if that was the case, when Man United were getting absolutely twatted off Liverpool,
Yeah, I support Liverpool.
you would have used the same consideration for me,
No.
which you didn't.
No.
So come on, Spurs.
Come on, you Lily Whites.
Yeah, it's oh dear. Do you know I really am full of dread. I do, however, feel like we can get something against these because I think they're
We beat them 4-1 at their ground.
I also think they're crap. I think they're so crap, and I don't understand why people like to pretend that they're good. I think so many of their players are so average, and I think their big lump of a manager is like completely overrated. He gets so much credit, so many plaudits for basically doing nothing. Fair play, he's taken a team from what? 8th to 5th. And we talk about him as if he's manager of the year. We talk about his incredible, expansive style. We talk about his devotion to an ideology in the game. And ultimately, he's crap. Ultimately, he is crap.
I wonder if, now that it's been confirmed, 5th does not get Champions League, if
The narrative
around him starts to change. Because it seemed like they were getting Champions
I'll
League
tell you
football.
who else is crap
Yeah.
while we're at it. He's on the telly now. James
he's
Maddison.
not crap, is he?
No. Hang on. You are correct. Of course he's not crap. He's not crap. We're crap. He's not crap. He's an elite professional footballer. Of course he's not. However, on the scale on
What
which
he's
I'm
achieved,
judging him,
what he can achieve.
in terms of judging him when we compare him to the likes of Bukayo Saka, when we compare him to the likes of Cole Palmer, when we compare him to the likes of Jack Grealish, compared to them, he's crap.
He's had a better season than Grealish, to be honest.
He hasn't had
lot
a good season. It's a complete myth that James
He's
Maddison.
behind- behind Palmer now.
Has his season
Like
not
Saka?
fizzled out at the worst possible?
But
bad
that's
point?
injury related. That's injury. I think he's been poor since coming back from injury. The start of the season, he was probably the best player in the league.
Yeah, that's a quarter of the season.
Yeah, but we have the same argument about Salah. Salah started the season very, very well as well. So I just think he's in poor form.
No, but I think he's been in.
I don't forget how
I just
electric
think
he was
had-
at the start.
Yeah, he had a purple patch at the beginning. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, you could argue that the purple patch that he demonstrated at the beginning of the season, actually, Mauricio Pochettino.
What's that all about?
I know, it's disgusting.
Ange Postecoglou and
It's the
Mauricio
Spurs,
Pochettino having a little bit of a love-in.
Is that Daniel Levy in the...
Before the game as well, which I don't mind after the game in the tunnel because it's all...
Pochettino is a Tottenham fan. Like
You reckon he loves Ange?
I think he loves Tottenham. I think he's jealous of Ange. I think he's jealous of Postecoglou. I think he desperately wants to be the Tottenham manager. I think he wishes every day, just as he goes to sleep, he says to his missus, one day we'll be back at Tottenham, the club where I belong, the club where I want to be. That's truly how I believe it is. And it's hateful to have a manager who clearly idolises our biggest rival. It's horrible.
I think Ange has not had a 0 out of 10 season. He's probably had a 5 or 6. To get them from 8th to 5th, losing their arguably best ever player.
They've lost Kane.
You know, we've seen better sides than Spurs lose their best players. You know, City lost Aguero, one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. And there's something you have to be, doing there. So Ange Postecoglou is a decent job he's been doing.
I'm
We'll get onto that in a bit.
I'm not
Let's have a
sure I
look.
agree.
Go on.
I'm not. I think he's done an okay job. That's not my issue. My issue is the plaudits that he gets. But let's have a look at the teams.
The team news is in. Chelsea's team will get Rory's thoughts on his Petrovic. Gilchrist starts again. Chalobah, Badiashile, Cucurella, Caicedo, Conor Gallagher. So there's no Enzo today. Madueke, Cole Palmer, Mudryk, and Nico Jackson.
Jesus Christ.
And then
Is that our team?
on the bench, your bench should cheer you
Jesus
up. You've got
Christ.
Kieran Dyer, apparently.
Kieran Dyer.
Kano Dyer.
K-A-N don't shot no O's. K-A-N.
Kano used to play for Chelsea. You know that?
Yes.
Yeah. K-A. So you got Kano on the bench, Tyreek George, Joshua Kofi Achempong, Leo Castledine, Jimmy Turanian, Jussi Jääskeläinen's son, Zach Sturge, David Washington, former US president, Cesare
These are NPCs.
Casadei
They're all NPCs.
and Marcus Bettinelli.
I've never
That's
heard
a
of any
great
of them.
name.
That is a great name.
It's a very poker player with a very similar name. Do you know what? Like, let's put the bench to one side. Let's look at that first 11. I'm not joking here. You know, when you read out that first 11, is that the worst 11 that Chelsea have ever had in the Premier League era? I'm not even taking a piss.
What do you hate about it? No.
What do I like about it?
Palmer in the 10 is nice.
Palmer, I like.
Caicedo's in good form.
Caicedo's he could
It's
really.
like when you get to like year 2052 on Football Manager, isn't it?
Yeah. Random names.
This is the worst.
NPC
This is the worst
characters.
11 that we've ever put out in the Premier League. I swear to you, Chelsea have never put out Premier League era. Chelsea have never put
You've
out.
always had a great somewhere. Like a great, like a Chelsea
yeah,
great.
Even in the side that say finished 11th, Arsenal finished 10th. Arsenal finished 11th one year. Chelsea finished 10th, 95, I think. In that team would batter this team.
Yeah.
That team would, like Dennis Wise, like that team had who? Dennis Wise, Gavin Peacock, Mark Steen, John Smith. They batter this team. A couple of years later, we had Mark Hughes up front, Ruud Gullit. Okay, we also had Eddie Newton, Frank Sinclair.
What's your worst year in the
This is
Premier
our
League
worst
history?
ever Premier
What's your
League.
worst year in the Premier League history prior to this one?
2024.
Prior to this one. No, I want to do a little thing. Prior to this one.
I think it would be the season that Swindon went down, 95.
What was your 11
90
roughly, and how many of these players would get into that?
So 95, we nearly went down. We were bottom at Christmas, I think. Or we were second. We were in the relegation zone at Christmas, and we ended up going on a run. Mark Steen scored in 7 consecutive games to keep us up. I think Sheffield United, we beat them last day to actually stay up. That team would have been Dimitri Karine, who's obviously better than Petrovic. The right back in that team would have been Steve Clark, who's obviously better than Gilchrist. The centre halves would have been Erland Johnson and Jakob Jelberg, both of whom are probably better than Trevor. Okay, Trevor Chalobah's probably as good. Benoit Badiashile, no. So Trevor Chalobah's in. Cucurella, or it would have been Terry Phelan. I think it's Terry Phelan. Moises Caicedo or Dennis Wise. Obviously, Dennis Wise is twice a player that Moises Caicedo ever will be. Conor Gallagher or Gavin Peacock. Gavin Peacock. We also had Glenn Hoddle. We kind of had a 3-man midfield. Glenn Hoddle would have been in the midfield as well. Glenn Hoddle would have to be in this team, obviously. Like Glenn Hoddle was player manager. Player manager was better than yeah. So Glenn Hoddle's in, which then means Gavin Peacock plays instead of Mudryk. Bring him forward. You've got. And then John Spencer, Mark Steen up front. John Spencer and Mark Steen are both better than
Cole Palmer.
Nicholas Jackson.
Cole Palmer
is in.
So Cole Palmer, Chalobah get in.
That's crazy.
Mate, this is
What about your manager? Who's your manager then?
Our manager name was Glenn Hoddle. Glenn Hoddle's better than him.
Glenn Hoddle, yeah.
Glenn Hoddle's better than
He can sub
him.
himself on.
And this is a Glenn Hoddle player manager who in the 94 Cup final, Fergie went, it's going to be 1-0.
Yeah.
Glenn Hoddle's going to bring himself on and it's all going to fall apart. We're going to win 4-0. That Glenn Hoddle gets in this team.
That's amazing.
I can't believe it. This is our worst ever Premier League 11.
We'll
In
get
2
through
years
the,
of Clear Lake.
The Spurs team shortly. We've got some super chats to read out first, though. Rory, says Tommy Castillo. It's going to be 3-0 Spurs.
Oh, not him. Not him. Don't put any more things on screen from him. He's my mortal
If
enemy.
he pays, he has to.
No, he's
If he
my
pays
mortal.
the bills.
There's two Castillo
He pays
brothers.
the bills.
There's Tommy Castillo and Isaiah Castillo, and I don't want to hear from either
Both
of them today.
paying our
Wait,
bills.
it's a super chat. Gotta read.
I don't want to
They're
hear
paying
from
the bills
either
for
of them.
British Gas.
Dark Knight says you hate Angie's tactics doesn't mean he's a bad manager.
No, it does. I don't hate him. I don't know him. I don't particularly like him though. But me disliking his tactics proves that he's a
What
bad
did you
manager.
make of him at the start of the season going, I don't think we should put any pressure on referees and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
And now he's out there saying, I hate VAR, I hate football.
Yeah.
He's like that Accrington Stanley manager who's like, I don't even like football no more.
You know,
Like that.
at the beginning of the season, they played 10. They played 10.
Yeah.
They'd won 8. They drew 2. They'd lost none.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, mate, everything's great. Like, there's nothing to moan about. No, just let the VAR do the job, man. And suddenly they start getting battered. And he's like, scrap VAR. He's joining us in the anti-VAR society.
One more super chat. Got to read it. Rory once said he'd never find Kevin De Bruyne's cold pursuit of numbers. That definitely sounds like something you would have said. Inspiring to watch. Does his recent performances and variety of goals change your mind?
Yeah, there's quite an interesting debate there, actually. Yeah, I think the point that I made, that where I said that, the video in which I spoke about the ruthless pursuit of numbers was in a video that I did about Paul Pogba. So I did a bit of a doc on Paul Pogba on my YouTube channel, and I said how much I enjoy players like Paul Pogba. And I will always relish watching players like Paul Pogba and almost prioritise them over the more brilliant players, but the players who are like into the ruthless pursuit of numbers. For example, Harry Kane, a cold determination and trajectory and catalogue of numbers. Similar with Kevin De Bruyne. I will always
You think
get
De
my
Bruyne's after the numbers?
the way that he plays the game is like he's not. I think that Kevin De Bruyne is a brilliant, but meticulous footballer. I don't think that he is an artist in the way that I think maybe somebody like Paul Pogba is an artist. Of course, their careers went in very different directions. Harry Kane is one of my favourite players at the moment. I think Harry Kane deserves a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
But Harry Kane is the same as Kevin De Bruyne. Ruthless.
I couldn't disagree more. But
it's interesting. What, you don't think that Kevin De Bruyne and Harry Kane in the Venn diagram of the way that they
Harry
approach?
Kane and Haaland, you're spot on. Haaland, 1,000,000%. De Bruyne is one of the most naturally gifted footballers I've ever seen in terms of how he carries the ball, in terms of some of his passing ranges. It's out of this world.
No, but you can be
I
good.
Think the system that he was successful in last season is definitely more robotic, and that's why we won the treble, because it eliminated so many mistakes and turnovers.
Is
But
it the system more than...
De Bruyne is the purest form of artistry the Premier League's probably ever seen as a midfielder. As a midfielder,
No, but I don't.
He's
think,
right up
I
there.
don't think so. But simply because you even flagged it there last year in the most successful season that he has ever had and Man City have ever had, he wasn't. The word you actually used was robotic.
No, the system around him, he was still very, very creative in what he did.
He always will be creative in the way that Harry Kane will always be creative. But Harry Kane to me strikes me as a man that is about a cold, hard attack on numbers. And I think Kevin De Bruyne is cut from similar cloth. Whereas Paul Pogba never struck me as that. Paul Pogba would strike me as an Eden Hazard. Paul Pogba and Eden Hazard would strike me as being more similar in the way that I would say that Harry Kane and Kevin De Bruyne are.
That's interesting.
So that's
let us know you agree with in the comments. We're going to move on to the Spurs team. See if this is any better than Chelsea one.
I mean, it's going to be, isn't it? I mean, it's impossible for it not to be. It's actually impossible for it not to be.
They got Vicario in goal, so it's already better. Pedro Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, and Emerson. Papasar, Basuma, Johnson, Kulusevski, Son, and Richarlison.
We beat these.
They got Johnson, Heung-min Son, and Richarlison.
We absolutely battered.
You said
these.
that every stream for Chelsea this season, and you've
No, that's not
basically
true.
lost all of
That's
them.
not true. I've often said that we'll lose 5-0, and we have.
But you also said you said you could beat Arsenal 2-1.
No, I said
You said there's 1 or 2.
No, I said that the score would be 1-0 to Chelsea or 5-0 to Arsenal.
Painting like Maddison's on the bench, you know.
That's interesting as well. I'm right. See, James Maddison has been so poor since he came back from his injury that he's now not starting.
He can't. If he's fully fit, he starts his.
So's Bentancur, so's Højbjerg.
Buvey, why are you so kind to James Maddison? Like you're not like this to everyone.
I think he's fantastic.
But based upon what? Based upon 10 games at the beginning of the season.
6 months of the season.
Yeah, I mean that's a very generous appraisal because we judge footballers over the 38 games rather.
Salah's form since coming back from injury
completely
/ AFCON is absolutely shocking.
Okay, fine. I haven't said that it wasn't.
No, I'm not. But
I haven't. I mean, I don't necessarily
I'm not saying
agree
you
that-
are, but
no, I don't
football
necessarily
fans have
agree
been
that it
very,
is.
very critical of Salah.
No, but that
can I
doesn't
ask you a
explain why
question?
But why are you being so nice to regardless of?
I'm just
Salah's-
saying that if he's not starting the game, there must be something related to fitness.
No,
'Cause I think
no,
if he's
it's-
fully
no, it's
fit,
related
you have to shove him in,
No,
surely.
No, it's related to him being the worst player on the pitch when Arsenal
Really?
battered him up.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Arsenal batter them.
He was
He
vacant.
goes off and
Completely vacant.
I just
They
don't
were
think-
shocking the
I just
first
don't-
30 minutes, weren't they, in
Do
that
you
game?
remember? Do you remember all of that hype around Maddison at the beginning of the season? Must start for England. Southgate must work it out. And I remember. Do you know I got so much stick at the beginning of the season because I called the James Maddison signing fairly uninspiring. Like, you know, when Maddison went there.
Did you? I
Tottenham
don't
fan-
remember that, yeah.
No, it was on TalkSport. I said it's a fairly uninspiring signing. And a lot of people went mad. Addy in particular, my mate, was like, this is a brilliant sign. And then obviously for the first 10 games,
Yeah.
he looked unreal.
Out as well.
So Addy kept going to me, uninspiring, yeah?
Is he
Uninspiring.
not a player that's often just hampered by injury? Or am I being too fair?
I don't know if it matters. I mean,
Because he was incredible for Leicester, even when they were,
does
you know,
matter.
but he was in and out. We didn't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Look at Salah, I don't think
No,
he's
but
fully fit.
the reasons why he doesn't play well are neither here nor there. The point is that I think
Is he
it
the
was,
player that we think he is?
exactly.
Can I get your thoughts on the banner that Chelsea fans are going to be unfurling today
Yeah, it's
about
brilliant.
Conor
Brilliant.
Gallagher?
Yeah, good.
What is it going to say? Chelsea since birth.
Chelsea since birth. Yeah.
I saw a bit of a debate between Chelsea fans online, the people that were producing it, and another Chelsea fan that's on YouTube, Lewis. And he seemed to be against it because he thought that making a banner about a player that's probably going to end up at Spurs is kind of counterintuitive. But What do you think of the banner?
I think there's I don't know specifically about the fellow that you're referring to. I don't know his stance on it.
I think his stance was he's going to go to Spurs. Why are we embarrassing ourselves?
But I mean, he doesn't know that he's going to go to Tottenham. You can't possibly not support your captain, or at least a player that has been Chelsea captain at various points this season, because he may leave in the summer. Like, that would be ridiculous.
Do you think this is a banner to kind of try and make him stay or show the sentiment around him?
Exactly. I think it's showing love and appreciation for a player who's been one of our standout players this season, one of the only shining lights, one of the only players that has put in 100% every single week, and he thoroughly deserves it. There is a hostility towards homegrown players online. In the stadium, this doesn't exist, but there is a huge divide. I mean, I completely keep out of it on social media because it is poison. Like, I don't know if it exists in Man City's online versus.
I think it exists in any
Chelsea,
little small universe of whether it's the Marvel universe or Man United.
No.
Whatever it is.
What exists? I know it exists at Chelsea. It probably exists at City and Manchester United, but I don't know that for a fact. What exists at Chelsea is hateful. And I would never wade into it because I think anything on social media, any of these debates, they can look really unedifying. But there is a crop of often international fans who dislike players like Gallagher, like Mount, like Chilwell. They really hate them, and it gets
on style. The style
on style, yeah. on style, on the fact that they would perceive them to get a favourable coverage in the stadium.
Probably similar to the criticism I get for sticking by Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
Wanting to come good, and then people go, you wouldn't say this about that.
Exactly. You don't say that about Anthony. You don't demonstrate the same.
There's a reason why.
Exactly. But anyway. Mate, it's so horrible. But what's happened is that the shed end, which is like our main end, there's a group of lads who I think have done some brilliant displays this year. They did a great one against City at Wembley. They put a lot of effort in. They raise money. They do brilliant things. And they have decided that Conor Gallagher deserves a banner. That has caused, I think it's the least controversial thing in the world. Shall we acknowledge the contribution of our sometime
also,
captain
these
this
things
season?
are usually
also been
paid
fantastic,
for by match-going fans who all chip in. Like, we have a similar one called Stretford End Flags.
Yeah. If you want to, this is I don't get involved online, but what I would say online is, if you don't think he deserves one, and you think, I don't know, Mark Cucurella deserves one,
make one.
Get there and make one. Pay your money. Don't sit on your ass and tell other people what to do. Go to the stadium. Like, these banners, you have to get them fire certified and all of that. They cost a fortune.
A lot of work, yeah.
Put the effort in yourself and get down there.
We got some super chats, which means got to read them out. Luke says, what happened to the partisan unbridled support for your team? That again sounds like something Rory would say. We are not in a good space, but this is too far on the spectrum. I think it's...
Mate, what do you want me to say? This is the best team we've ever seen. What does this bloke genuinely... This is the best Chelsea 11 I've ever seen. I'll tell you what, John Terry wouldn't get in this team. Michael Essien, what? Michael Essien wouldn't get a look in. John Obi Mikel wouldn't get anywhere near this team. I much prefer Nicholas Jackson to Didier Drogba. Does that make sense? Is that the way to do it? Nicholas Jackson over Didier Drogba. Hernan Crespo, 2 bob. Get Nicholas Jackson started for Chelsea every week. Does that make sense? Has that cheered you up, Luke?
Cheered me up. We got a super chat. Got to read it out. Forget numbers. De Bruyne is more skilled. Oh, I'm not finishing. You can read it.
Read it out. Do your job, man. That side of the table.
Making that come out of my mouth.
De Bruyne is... The super chat reads, forget numbers, Kevin De Bruyne is more skilled than Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes and every other midfielder in the league's history. The point that we were making is nothing to do with who's more skilled, though. The point that
you made an aesthetic comment, which I just don't know if you've watched. Maybe you haven't watched.
I think it's more to do with the coach. And the
I think you could say Rodri's a numbers-based guy. He always make the pass that is 51% more likely to get through, and De Bruyne loses the ball 30 times in the Champions League semi-final against quarter-final against Real Madrid. He lost it 30 times. He's trying to do so many things, and he can do it to such a high level. I don't think the crossing ability, the long-range goals, the free kicks. The technique is out of this world. The aesthetic quality is very similar to Paul Pogba.
The technique or the skill that's suggested. You've mentioned technique, and the super chat mentioned skill. I don't contest. I don't contest that Kevin De Bruyne is a phenomenal footballer. I don't even think it's particularly controversial to say that Kevin De Bruyne is somebody who has a ruthless pursuit of numbers. I don't think that's an out there comment. I don't think that's a hostile comment. I think he is a man who has a ruthless pursuit of numbers.
And he delivers usually.
That's not even...
It's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think that's...
For me.
And also my comparison was Paul Pogba. I don't think Paul Pogba had a ruthless pursuit of numbers to the same way that Kevin De Bruyne does.
2 more. Well,
that was the worst day of my life.
Wow.
Thank you for brightening my
That was
day.
the worst day of my life.
He's just seen Dele Alli score at the bridge.
That was the first time that Tottenham had beaten Chelsea at Stamford Bridge for 27 years.
That was the last time Poch smiled at Stamford Bridge as well.
27 years they didn't win.
A lot healthier there as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Not
He looks like
Pochettino
younger.
there.
He looks a lot younger, doesn't he?
RT says,
No
thank you for
grace.
brightening my day. The club makes me feel like I have a friend to talk about football with. I know it will be a long shot, but come on, you.
Yeah, don't finish that. Don't
Come on, you Spurs.
Don't finish that either. Don't
No,
finish
but
it
thank
that
you,
low.
man. It's great that we can give you some company and everyone else out there that needs a little someone to watch the game with. Hopefully, it feels like you're at the pub with us lunatics. One more to go. 1-4 Spurs about to batter
No way.
Chelsea. Son hat trick. Son cries.
Isn't that what Chelsea did to Tottenham away from home when Tottenham were meant to be winning the league?
I think he's tried to flip it on the head as a revenge mission.
Isn't that what we did? Yeah, but
Did Jackson score 3 that game?
yeah, only the 3. Should have scored 4.
Yeah, he should have scored 4. He missed a big one,
Only the
didn't
3 though.
Yeah.
Only the 3. You know, Chelsea
More
centre
predictions?
forwards scoring hat tricks against Tottenham.
It was like the
whether
worst
it's Torre,
hat-trick ever,
whether
wasn't
it's Torre Andre Flo, Nicholas Jackson, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, it just happens. I think Chelsea will win the game 3-2.
I think it's going to be one of them. Remember Man United, Chelsea, the mid-off?
Yeah,
I think we're seeing the mid-off again. I think it's going to be open.
yeah,
he? Yeah.
Chelsea win the game.
Nothing
3-2.
to lose.
Go on.
I mean, there is a lot to lose
I
for
think
Tottenham.
it'll be 3-2 Spurs.
I think Tottenham do have a lot to lose. I think
have to
a
win.
defeat for Tottenham ends any dream that they have.
It's over. Villa will just manage them, keep them at arm's length.
No, but
Villa
it's,
got difficult games, though.
but it's not over.
yeah,
Yeah,
mathematically.
but it's
yeah,
not over.
of course.
Whereas
yeah,
Chelsea
yeah.
beat them and it's over. I think even if Chelsea get a
finito.
point, it's over.
It was interesting. I saw a stat earlier. I might have got this just off, but before you played them and beat them this season,
They were
had like
unbeaten.
10 games unbeaten. And
Yeah,
after
they
that,
played-
they've lost 9 in 23.
They played 10. They played 10. They'd won 8. They drew 2.
And now they've lost 9 in 23.
Yeah.
They were celebrating in the stadium.
Quite
Have
phenomenal.
you seen
three
that? I
games.
retweeted it
Yeah.
yesterday.
That's what
All holding
Arsenal
on.
players copied, didn't it? Which at the time, I didn't realise what they were doing. But when you see they were like literally copying what Spurs did, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Good little wind up. Remember, we're
Oh,
sponsored by Super 6, where you can get your score predictions in. And if you get your score predictions in and 6 are correct, the 6 of the 6 are correct, you could win £250,000. It's that simple. It's free to play. You have to be 18 and over, but get stuck into Super 6. The link is in the description below. We've got our own mini league as well, running towards the end of the season. And the winner of our mini league at the end of the season will be playing for the Club FC against Pitchside. And you should see some of the players that have joined our squad. You're not going to want to miss that. It's going to be absolutely amazing at a proper pitch as well. My score prediction for today is 4-1 Spurs as well. I'm going for a
come on,
flip
the Spurs.
reverse.
Tottenham have won 1 of their last 38 visits to Stamford Bridge.
Oh, that's
Once in 38 years.
That's shocking.
Once
Have
in
they
38.
got similar records at Arsenal and Chelsea then?
No, they have a much better record at Arsenal than
Do
they
they?
do at Chelsea. Yeah, once in 38 years,
That's
mate.
crazy.
Yeah, but and also,
Considering for
do you know what's quite funny about it? as well?
50% of that, you weren't that good.
Well, do you know what's quite
You
funny
know,
about it? You
you
get a
were
lot of Tottenham fans that always want to talk about that. You get a lot of Tottenham fans that often want to talk about Chelsea pre-Abramovich. Like we used to batter you every year. Pre-Abramovich. like we literally used to batter you every year. Pre-Abramovich. Brilliant banner from.
There's the banner.
We had a shed.
What,
well
people
played.
moaning about that?
People are moaning about.
You know what I hate about that?
I thought, I
doesn't
thought it
just-
had more of a statement or like a quote or
That
something.
they've
they
left
didn't like.
the sponsors in.
No, but it would be.
They kind of have to
It
because
would-
of the club with that.
yeah.
But you know, if they could just stop.
No, it's pathetic. I agree. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, once in 38 years. So they'll always bang on. You were nothing pre-Abramovich. Go, mate.
That's a mindset thing. And when I talk about the Spurs mindset, I was talking about Harry Kane, how much of a bottle he is. And maybe we can talk about that later in the stream. But that is a mindset thing. Because City were rubbish. We used to smack
What I'd
Man
like to
United
talk
up every
about
now and
is,
then. Every now and
and
then.
at various points, do you know who their winners? Listen to this. This will demonstrate, mate, because this has taken you by surprise a bit, hasn't it? I
can't believe
which
it was
means I'm not
38.
doing my job properly because my job is to make sure that everyone knows what
Every
Chelsea
stream.
dominance that Chelsea. Yeah. Just to demonstrate, this will amplify it for you. You ready for this?
Yeah.
So you just saw Dele Alli score a winner for Tottenham at Stamford Bridge. Over to you, and Buvey, you're playing this quiz. Try and guess the player that scored the winner for Tottenham prior to it being Dele Alli. So Dele Alli scored a winner for Tottenham at Stamford Bridge in 2016.
What's the year that they last won then? Like, give me
1990.
1990. Oh, is it Glenn Hoddle?
It's not. It's...
Do I know who it is?
You definitely know the person. And you'll kick yourself. I'll give you 3 guesses. You'll definitely kick yourself.
Striker.
Correct. You can do some clues if you want.
Yeah, give me.
No, you can ask some questions. I'll give you a yes, no. You can have 3 questions. Definite striker.
British striker.
Correct.
British striker for Spurs.
English. Played for England.
England striker. 19.
Who is so... you are so aware of him today. Every single football fan knows this man. So current today. Shall I tell you?
Yeah.
Gary Lineker.
Wow.
So it went Lineker. Think about how long.
Yeah.
Lineker scored the winner. All of the fixtures that happened, 1990, 91, 92, 93, 94.
Both been in the same league all those times.
He goes to Japan. He retires, goes to the Walkers.
He's presenting Match of the Day the next time.
He signs the Walkers contract.
He's presenting Match of the Day the next time that he sees Tottenham win it. Yeah, Lineker Ali.
He's probably a grandkid.
We got a big old super chat here, but we can't put it on the screen because there's too much writing in it. But it says from Lorenzo, Rory's point, Pogba Hazard will often try the wild, entertaining option to get the fans off their seat, a joy to watch. Kevin De Bruyne is more efficient. I think that's kind of what Rory's saying, isn't it?
I feel like this is being slightly positioned that I'm being snide to De Bruyne, and I don't want it to be like that at all. Saying that somebody has a ruthless pursuit of numbers is a compliment.
Also, it's just a mindset. It's not necessarily it's just a mindset, isn't it? You remember Wayne Rooney when Fergie kind of instilled that mindset in him?
Yeah.
But, you know,
I think
he was still the same player.
Do you know what? Because when I say De Bruyne, I feel like it brings something out in you because you love him so much. You kind of immediately get defensive.
My only debate would be the pursuit of numbers thing. I think saying he gets good numbers doesn't mean he pursues good numbers. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I do.
Thierry Henry had a season where he got 20 goals, 20 assists. He wasn't pursuing those numbers. His excellence got him the numbers. It was a byproduct. So I don't think... look, I've come across him. Obviously, I've done so many videos talking about him. He doesn't strike me as someone that looks at the numbers in the same way that you're talking about. I think Harry Kane does. I think Erling Haaland does. I think someone like Rodri doesn't get numbers in terms of goals, but I think he'll, in his head, think, if I can play the ball to Adam versus Rory and there's a 1% more chance of getting the ball to Adam, he's going to play that pass. Yeah. And I think he's been coached out of it a little bit. I think first season De Bruyne, if you ever bothered to look at 2016-17 De Bruyne, he was nutmegging people. I also think a lot of it is to do with... He was like Paul Pogba.
A lot of it is to do with like the positions that De Bruyne will occupy on the pitch. He's kind of taught you have to put the ball into those areas because that's where our runners will be. And everything with Pep is rather methodical, isn't it? The same players making the same movements constantly all over the place and beating people into submission. And that's what they do. The game is off. We're also going to have the Villa game on the other screen when that kicks off in the Europa Conference League of the World. But yeah, the game has kicked off between Chelsea and Spurs. Looking forward to this one.
This fixture has a history of just being brilliant. Like, annoyingly, this game actually counts for very little. But historically, this game has always come alive.
What's your favourite fixture between the two teams?
4-3 when I was a kid. Mark Steen penalty in the last minute. It's one of the best games the Premier League's ever seen. It happened 94, 95.
You were there?
Yeah, I was there, mate. I remember it so well. There's a great picture at the end of Mark Steen and Eddie Newton, like looking like that, and Eddie Newton's got a gold tooth, like in hugging. It was so good. Yeah, I think.
Not many people have gold teeth anymore.
No.
My old man's got one.
Is it really? No, it's great. But no, that I mean, and the other one that everybody wants to talk about is what happened when Harry Kane. You know, they were 2-0 up, and Eden Hazard comes on. And they never won the league. Leicester City won the league.
That was amazing.
I mean, it's the anniversary of that. That happened yesterday.
When that happened. That was beautiful.
Were you?
Oh,
yeah. No, that was one of the best. That was one of the best nights at Stamford Bridge, like in a long time.
And I was very young in my career when that happened, and I was working at a football company, and he was a big Spurs fan. He still is, obviously. I wanted to celebrate. I was just sat there like I was an intern.
It was so good because they went 2-0 up. We thought it was over. But that's when we had a team that would just
that goal on his right foot, top
Hazard.
Yeah.
It was his only contribution to Chelsea that season. You know that. You know that season he basically did nothing.
Took a year off.
He basically did. Yeah, he had a year out.
Does that goal hold a lot of weight towards it? Obviously, he was a fantastic
towards his legacy.
But like, did Chelsea fans hold that as one of the best things he did?
Probably. He scored one of the best goals I've ever seen at Anfield. Like Eden Hazard. Yeah. Eden Hazard scored a goal in the League Cup. We went away to Liverpool on a Tuesday night, and mate, I'm not joking. It's literally one of the best goals I've ever seen. I don't know how he did it. It was the very definition of Chelsea being a one-man team that season. He sort of picks the ball up. Someone rolls it into him. He picks it up. He dribbles. He beats one, beats two, nutmeg, scores. Yeah. I think that is probably the Eden Hazard goal. I think that's the one. He also scored a brilliant goal against West Ham at Stamford Bridge.
The Arsenal one.
Yeah, the Coquelin.
Rolling Coquelin.
Yeah. Go on. Oh, right. But for me, the goal against Tottenham is probably the iconic one. It's probably the Eden Hazard goal. I mean, I think the season where we beat Arsenal in Baku his contribution to that was amazing. Like the only reason we won that competition was him, really. In fact, the only reason that season went well at all was because of Eden Hazard. We were a one-man
Is he the
team.
most talented Chelsea player you've ever...
Second most talented.
I say talented. Joe Cole?
Zola.
Gianfranco Zola.
Oh, yeah.
Gianfranco Zola was better than... Gianfranco Zola was the best. Like, do you know, I saw something the other day. Gianfranco Zola won the Football Writers Award in his debut season. He only signed for us in November. And he won... Think about the players playing.
Have you seen the video of him when I think he was at Watford? And all their players are taking free kicks.
And he just does it. Yeah, and he just does it, and then and whoever the centre forward, whoever the centre forward was, just looks at him like that. He's like, I can't do that.
He was the manager for the Troy Deeney goal, wasn't he? The famous
Yes,
one
he was.
Leicester City.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is he in? Is he still? Is he like an assistant?
No. He was sorry. He was assistant at Chelsea. He was sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Do you know something I realised? You know the Sheffield United keeper, Fodringham?
Yeah.
You know Di Canio was manager at Swindon Town. He took a keeper off after 13 minutes.
Yeah.
And the keeper was swearing him. That's Fodringham.
Really?
Yeah. Madness.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Got some super chats. Got to read them out. United. Oh, for fuck. What is this geezer saying now? When something starts with United fan here, you know it's going to go the other way.
Paragraphs. It's Leo Tolstoy.
United fan here. Kevin De Bruyne has all the skills of Pogba and the pass of Scholes. No, he doesn't. He's one of the rare times when he passes the eye test, numbers test. Get that off screen. Thank you.
Exactly. That's the
Next
point.
one. Got to read it out.
He passes the eye test and the numbers test.
I don't think that... I feel like this has gone in a direction that I didn't anticipate at all. Go on.
Buvey, do you think...
I don't have any...
Chelsea.
Yes! Oh, Cole Palmer not scored.
Van der Ven's cleared it off the line from a Nico Jackson shot, which kind of just hit Cole Palmer and gone over.
How's Cole Palmer not scored that rebound?
It's not his fault. It's just
I think it is.
Nah, it just
powerful
hits him,
clear.
you know.
Yeah, it's bounced
Just
off
hits
him.
Is it a bad
Mudryk
ball
wins
from
the ball.
Mudryk here? Is there too much pace on it?
I like that ball.
Have a look. Is there too much pace on it?
That's a good ball for me.
No.
No, it's
The
just in the
keeper's-
right place. Yeah.
Keeper's done
Hang
poor
on,
there.
Keeper's done well because he got a touch on it, which kills it.
What
not
a
think?
shame.
Paul's not, but
Do you think he needs to score there, Nicholas Jackson, or am I being
Takes
harsh?
the pace now.
No, I think you're being really generous to Cole Palmer as well, buddy.
Mudryk's
Come
in.
on, he's got to be. Fucking useless.
just talk about Zola for 5 minutes.
I know. Do you know why I'm talking?
Sometimes
Can
you have to
see
realise
why?
what we're doing.
You know when you call me a nostalgia merchant.
Yeah.
You know when you watch this crap. Do you see why I'm
mate,
talking about
but
Zola?
I'm on the same page as you. I think standard football is shocking at the moment. Like we're talking about. By the way, Bellingham had a stinker. He's meant to be the best player
He's
in the
got to
world.
score, Buvey. Cole Palmer.
Mbappe-
Look, I love
Mbappe
Cole
is
Palmer.
Dortmund.
Cole Palmer's player of the
But he
season.
wasn't that slow.
Cole
when he
Palmer's
went-
player of the season, but he's come on, lad. Like,
But he wasn't that slow when he
Nicholas
got
Jackson-
played to him, is what I'm saying.
if Nicholas Jackson hits that over, you're both having a very different approach. Like,
When you watch the natural speed of it, it's just the clearance that's just hit him.
It's just bounced.
It's not
bounced
much
off.
you could do.
What are the comments saying?
Pushing it.
Put it in there. Should Palmer score? We'll read some more super
I
chats
feel like Palmer
after
should
we've got
score.
that poll out for a couple of minutes. I'm happy to go with you, though. Buvey, do you think
Space
City
there.
4 in a row will cement them as the best English team of all time? You guys are class, says Ben.
Thank
Should just
you.
read out the
It
last
won't with
Thank you,
football
Ben.
fans. It won't with football fans. I
think
can
it
always
does.
hold the debate for the standard. The City side set is the best the league's ever seen. I think that's a very easy debate to have. But in terms of
The thing is, it's just
how
breaking the
cinematic
records.
it
Buvey.
was,
It's just
and
breaking the records. When
the
you
115 stuff, it's going to be difficult.
Spurs are in. Brennan Johnson on the right is up against Cucurella. He has a shot. Good
Ooh.
block by Cucurella. We got another super chat.
He misses a lot of chances. This Brennan Johnson, you know, he's a wasteful
I
strike.
thought he would have
He
gone
was at
wide.
Forest, let alone go
Wasteful
to
finish,
Spurs.
I think that it does. Cucurella. I
Chris is
actually
asking.
think it does, Buvey. You know that. I think as much as I will always acknowledge the brilliance of the Manchester United teams that did 3 in a row, if City do 4 in a row, it would be foolish of me, and it would actually be like totally unfair. One of the reasons why I always acknowledge Manchester United as being like a great was because of that treble. I always spoke about the Barcelona treble, and that was amazing what Manchester United achieved there. And I didn't think that would ever be repeated. Guardiola will have equalised that. If they do 4 in a row, they will have then gone beyond what Manchester United did again, including making some of their own records. For example, Centurions. For example, domestic treble. I don't see how it doesn't
We
become
got a super
City's
chat
record.
on the topic
Yeah.
a little bit. Massive respect for City, but surely the United treble team with the youth graduates is more impressive. Thoughts?
It might be more romantic. I think being
More
first
impressive.
it's the same achievement.
But what is more impressive?
But doing it with academy players that you've blooded into the team, you've had to wait till
But
they
it's more
improve. You've
romantic,
gone through the
isn't
ups and downs. Yeah, it's
more
impressive
romantic.
as well.
No, but
You, if
But I'm more
if
impressed.
Pep did it with like 6 Phil Folders, not 6 Phil Folders because obviously he's a unique player.
No, six
But
players that lived it.
yeah,
Six
then
players that grew up
then
in
suddenly
Hazel
you go-
Grove, Stockport. Yeah.
Yeah, suddenly you go to people mentioning 115. Hold on a minute, mate. most of these players from our
That's
academy.
that. But Roy said it was romantic, but impressive. No way. Usain Bolt running 980 at the Olympics versus running 970. The 970 is more impressive. It don't matter if it was Beijing.
But
it
if
was the
then
first
when
time he won
he
a gold.
equaled the world record, he was juiced up, then you start to look at
But
it
he
a
wasn't.
little bit different.
But it's
innit?
not about being juiced up, was it?
Do you know what? I think it's very difficult to answer that super chat. I think it's a very interesting point made, and appreciate you for dropping the super chat in, actually, because it's provoked a great debate.
I think if it was about 2 foreign clubs, we'd go. Yeah,
Look,
definitely the one that did it without the.
There are arguments.
money in your squad as well,
There are
right?
arguments that you can make. The other reason why I think you can argue with Manchester United is I think simply being first is also relevant. Like simply being the first to do something.
Oh, yeah.
You're the trailblazer. You're the benchmark.
You're Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
maybe.
You're like nobody remembers the second man on the moon, do they?
This City side beats every Premier League winners ever. Then
Buzz Aldrin. When was Buzz? No, maybe they do.
Buzz
remember.
Aldrin and
Open a can of worms. But did they really go?
I think they went. Look, the point is being
Way too many light sources in those pictures.
being the first
Stanley
man on
Kubrick.
the moon. Being the first man on the moon is more impressive than being the second man on the moon. But also Manchester City have not only broken Manchester United records, they've equalised the hardest one. They've done other things.
100 points.
100 points, mate. The domestic treble. Nobody ever speaks about it. You know the year that you
That's
did the
incredible.
domestic treble.
Incredible. 2019.
And that wasn't the Centurion year, was it? The Centurion year was
That was
different.
previously. That
So-
season
so
we
when-
got 98 points, won the FA Cup and the League Cup.
Yeah, mate. I mean, that's
98
a record
points.
that Man United never did as well, with domestic treble. So
And if Mars hadn't have missed the penalty, which you slagged me off for the video about, that's a 100-point season back to back if he scores that penalty.
yeah.
Did you see the stat about
How many
Klopp
games did
the
you
other
lose that
day?
year? Can you remember? Was it nearly unbeaten? Was there anything
it
like
was,
that?
It was very, very close to that.
Did
Like
you see
2 or 3.
the stat the other day about Klopp about if you changed 3 results, he would have. But then there's one about
What is
Fergie. If you change 4 results for Klopp, I think he wins 2 or 3 league
He
titles.
wins 3
and 2
league
or 3
titles and
Champions
3
League.
Champions League.
But then if you change 4 results for Fergie, I think he wins 9 leagues in a row or something like that. It's like unreal. Like
That's a nonsense argument both
crazy.
ways, though, isn't it? But it's a nonsense argument.
Is that true? 9 for Fergie?
I seen
So
someone
that
do it,
basically
and I
suggests
really
a lot of the times he lost the league.
They
It was
lost it by a
marginal.
point.
Fergie
We
did
lost
it
1 by goal
marginally.
difference, 1 by a
Yeah,
point.
the Aguero season
There was
maybe.
a few others like that.
But that sounds to me very much like if my auntie had bollocks.
Yeah, if I ran the 100
Although
metres,
saying that nowadays,
like if we ran the 100 metres now, we'd be doing it in 13, 14 seconds, yeah? That's only 5 seconds off Usain Bolt.
yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
We've got the poll results kind of
He was,
coming in.
but Alex Ferguson was 2 points off 9 league
that was it.
titles in a row.
Yeah.
What? So you give Manchester United 2 more points and they win 9 in a row?
Feels like a Farmers League to
And
me.
you'll never win 9 in a
It's
row.
Celtic.
Bloody hell. I can't see that. This is bringing us onto a completely different topic. But I do find it very difficult how people don't. There seems to be a thing now, particularly anybody about even a little bit younger than me, even 5 years younger than me, where they don't seem to acknowledge Ferguson's achievement. It really seems to be a thing. Do you remember that video that we did?
Yeah.
And we did this video.
Oh my God,
Buvey
that
and I
kid.
were on the same video. Yeah.
Oh.
Buvey and I did this video with a really nice chap. I'm not calling it. In fact, I'm not even going to say his name. Really nice bloke. I've never met him
The
before.
video is public. out there.
The video is public, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
You know when you're sitting there and you're just like, "Are you insane, mate?" He had Jurgen Klopp above Sir Alex Ferguson.
I'd have walked off the shoot.
I was a little bit.
I was laughing.
I was a little bit. I was the United fan in the room. I was the one.
And
going,
you know, it wasn't
"Mate,
like
what?"
if there was an argument, there isn't. If there
He
was,
didn't make it anyway.
it'd be down
Yeah.
to like compressed amount of time in like a 7-year
Yeah.
spell, or the fact that Fergie took a few years in the 80s to get it right. That wasn't the argument.
No.
It was like total legacy ever in
Yeah.
the Premier League.
Yeah. It was mental. I don't see
And
how
it wasn't
Ferg-
for views.
I find, certain things in football I believe are for a debate. The Fergie number 1 to me just isn't yet a debate.
it's
I think the gap is closing and maybe one day it will be. But as things stand, it
I
just
think
is Sir
Fergie in
Alex
the
Ferguson.
Premier League debate isn't, but
Yeah.
it is a European manager alongside Ancelotti,
Yeah, no,
alongside.
different
But then you've
debate,
got
different
you
debate.
bring
Yeah.
Marcelo Lippi and you bring all these different
And that's
guys.
where I think Guardiola has to be
Yeah,
above
I think
him.
if you want to
European
compare,
level.
Sir Alex Ferguson to other managers, you can certainly do that.
Yeah.
But
In the Premier League.
you're comparing Ferguson to Ancelotti, Guardiola, Johan Cruyff potentially for the way that he revolutionised
Yeah.
football. What you're not doing is comparing Sir Alex Ferguson to
Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, you're just not doing that. Yeah.
Someone that agrees with you on the Palmer. Oh, well, I say someone.
Foul ref.
72% of the people in the poll agree that Palmer should have scored.
Yeah, I thought
I
so.
was
Well,
wondering
yeah.
why I'm looking at
But what
my
does he
phone,
do?
'cause
Like
he's
cushion the rebound? What's he meant to do with his body?
I think you're
He's running it at full
overestimating.
pace.
I think you're overestimating the power in the clearance. It was also cleared into his foot, not into like his groin.
So he's got to open his body and cushion it.
Control it, yeah.
Also, there's some
It's-
people taking you up on, pulling you up rather on your comment that you do with 14-second 100 meters.
Oh, that's the average, isn't it? For like an average bloke in the UK or whatever. It's like 14,
I wouldn't
15.
do anything like that.
Yeah,
But
we would.
14
You probably-
sounds. I'm really slow.
You know what we'll
No,
do?
14,
You know what we'll do?
15, 16.
You know, on the match day, when
Yeah.
we film our match or whatever we do,
Yeah.
we'll all do 100 meters that day.
I'm aiming for about 13. I was being generous. I think probably 13, 12 maybe.
Mate,
maybe
wait,
12,
do you know,
11.
Do you know when I went? Go on, son.
Chelsea are in.
Cucurella's in.
terrible
Oh,
touch.
what an awful
Useless.
touch, man.
Useless.
At least get your body in the way. So if Van der Ven has to come across, he can foul you.
Useless.
You know what I mean?
Useless.
Put your body in the way, man.
Mate, do you
People
know?
don't want to get hurt no more.
Mate,
No,
do you know?
shitting himself. Look, he shit himself.
I went
Yeah, he
to.
pulled out.
I went to the Super Bowl, right? And I did this thing called the Super Bowl experience. And what you got to do, I forget, there's a
100-yard dash.
there's a really famous
100-yard.
fast American footballer. Is there a footballer called Beckham?
Odell Beckham Jr.
And is he really fast?
I don't know if he's the quickest.
He's been
I know
to
he's.
Spurs
I know,
games
Is he
as well.
really fast?
Yeah.
I know he's.
I think
Look-
it might be
yeah,
him, right?
maybe.
And basically, what you could do, they had a picture of this bloke, and he was on like a track, and he ran at the exact same pace that he runs, 20 meters, and you could run a long. And 20 meters isn't far. You kind of go, well, no matter how fast he is, it's only there. How
Yeah,
far?
yeah.
You can't get a gap. Bruv, it was like I was running alongside a fucking cheetah. You know, it's like, is he driving a car? It's like, is he
What, from
driving a car?
a
Mate,
starting.
I swear, I'd gone like
A stop
4.
sign.
I'd gone 4 meters and he finished.
Were you moving to start the 20 metres?
Yeah, so he's on like a spring and it goes 1, 2, 3, go,
Right.
and you both set off.
you
He'd
have to
finished
set off
before I'd
from
even
a-
started.
from a
yeah,
crouched
yeah,
position?
Yeah. He'd finished before I'd even started. I was like, wow, I am the slowest man in the world. Both.
You're wearing a
Metaphorically
weird
and-
chain in that as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I was
Some
wearing.
big
Yeah, maybe
horse.
that's what it was. It was wearing down. Yeah, I was pimped up. Yeah.
I did something like that with Troops once. He tore his hamstring. Oh, good old days. Can't believe it's a job sometimes.
Mate, I love those kind of like ridiculous injuries that people get when they just shouldn't get injured.
Yeah,
Like, how did you do that? And you just like, I was doing something with like I was racing troops.
Yeah, and I done my ACL.
I haven't seen him for years. You seen him lately?
I
did a
was
video with him
watching
on
the
his
Filthy
channel,
Fellas
but
with
not
him the
my
other
version.
day.
He was on Filthy Fellas.
Yeah.
It was a good app.
I watch Filthy every week. Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I-
funny.
I haven't seen him for
He
years.
was on there,
Yeah, he's
but I haven't seen him physically in person for a long time. Probably since before. No, I seen him in America. Was the last time I seen him actually.
I did an AFTV video with him. I said Arsenal will never win the league with Arteta. That was 4 years ago.
Still
Still
right.
started COVID.
Still true.
And someone
Is it-
someone clipped it up a few weeks
Is
ago.
he-
But you
But-
can't clip. That's mad. You can't clip it up now.
Is he believing?
You know what I mean?
I know,
in
I know.
Arteta? Is he pro Arteta?
He was really anti Arteta early,
Was he?
and now I think he's on board.
Like that other fellow who gets put in our group sometimes, who actually just hates his own.
the little guy,
I forget his name. Is he little?
little
I've never met him.
little Lee, and he Lee, not Lee.
Yeah, Lee
Judges.
Lee Judges.
No, the other one, Lee.
No, Lee Judges is very positive.
It's not
isn't
Lee
it?
Judges. It's Lee. He
I
lives
like
in
Lee.
Malaga or something.
Oh, that one.
The one who's like jumping up and down and all that.
The one, yeah.
with the green screen. Yeah.
Yeah. You, every now and again, it goes
Odegaard.
in our
He
group.
calls
Who's
Odegaard hair flick or
Yeah,
whatever.
Odegaard's like one of the best players that they've had the Premier League era. And
But then there's some
certainly
people that just do that,
Emirates
isn't
era. You know, if you go Emirates era Arsenal, Odegaard's definitely one of the best.
Cucurella into the box. Edge of the box. Someone's got
Time,
to shoot.
time.
Gilchrist,
Rosette, baby.
Rosette, baby.
Fancy it.
Wow.
Go on, son. I'd have done that. He's me, isn't he?
That's
He's
gone
me.
to
He's just better at
Westfield
football than me.
Shepherd's Bush. That is. Wow.
Yeah, he's onside. Isn't he?
Look at the stupid high line they play Tottenham. How can you credit them? How can you credit
Are we
them?
going to talk about Jadon Sancho? Or should we do it at halftime?
Do it at halftime.
Halftime.
You're going to embarrass yourself.
Do it after.
Me?
Yeah, you
What
can
for saying how good he was?
No, I mean, he was very good in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
But you're going to embarrass yourself
About what?
because you're going to pretend he's been doing this for like 4 months.
I'm not going to
And
pretend.
really, his stats are
I was just going
equivalent
to talk
of
about the
Anthony's.
game. I had no bias towards it. It wasn't an anti-Man United thing at all. But he has done very well
I
since
did-
leaving
although
Man
we-
United.
Do you know
in the
what,
commentary
Adam?
yesterday,
Adam,
'cause
I do think I
That
agree
Fletch
with
had
you.
his head stuck right up Sancho's arse, and he was like, "If you put a Man United shirt on him here, there's no way you're this positive."
He wouldn't
about it."
perform like that.
And,
He was
and also, there
exceptional.
was like he was going, "The trouble that he's been through, you've got to feel sorry for him. He's been through so much." What? He was being a dickhead. He didn't apologise. He sat around playing FIFA all day instead
Went
of
onto
instead
Twitter.
of,
Went
instead
onto
of
Twitter,
training.
didn't he?
Yeah.
He's a knob, and he got called out for being a knob, and now he's getting his act together. No one ever doubted his ability.
Although,
Do you know what I mean? No
That
one
is
ever
true.
doubted his ability.
That
but is
true.
it? But is it a? If you look at the players that have left Manchester United under Ten Hag, that aren't playing for him, and then you look at the players at Manchester United that are struggling under Ten Hag, you see players leave and flourish, and you see good players.
But you see,
struggling.
again, you're saying
I'm just asking the question.
Players leave and flourish. Like, I've been paying attention to what he's been doing in Dortmund. I haven't watched every game, but I've been paying attention. I've been paying attention to the reaction to him. Up until this game, most of it's been underwhelming. Dortmund fans complaining. Dortmund fans saying he's not bringing anything. Him really not bringing anything to the team. He had 2 goals and an assist in like 4 months or something. That's equal
But why
to
is
Anthony.
why is he playing in their most
He
important
played
game
very
of the season?
No, he played very well in that
No,
game.
but why is he playing in it if he hasn't?
'Cause he's one of their best
earning his
players.
play?
Matson's playing for them as well. He's not playing for
He's
Chelsea.
a young Chelsea kid, isn't he?
Yeah, no, of course, but I don't know enough
And
about
they love
German
him
football.
there, which
But
is
what I'm
true.
saying is, he must be doing relatively well to be starting for them in their most
he's
important
doing
game
well.
of the season.
He is doing well.
It can't be that. It can't.
He has been doing
One
well.
of their best options, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, my point is, people going
he could have gone down
United
there.
made this mistake, and he's always like the guy's been average for Dortmund for a couple of months.
Has
And
he?
like,
Has-
yeah,
I don't know if that's
I
true.
don't know if that's
I'm just surprised if he's been so average.
I
I'm
promise you,
surprised it's
Dortmund won't be
starting.
coming to us going, here's 75 million back.
No, but
No,
it'd
that's
be
because they're not dopes.
Yeah, but it would be 20
No,
and they
million.
know that
It'd
they
be
got you
20
over a
million.
barrel.
Chance.
They know they got you over a barrel for him as well.
But it'd be interesting to see, like,
But does it surprise you that he's done so well?
No, but the
because he's a-
highlights. It
he's
was
a
scary how
fantastic
good he
player.
was.
See,
Or is it a
Highlights.
PSG thing? Is it a PSG thing?
What do you mean?
Oh, he's playing against the French side.
No, but they demonstrate
Newcastle.
They, no, but they
Newcastle did in
demonstrated
the group.
No, but they demonstrated some serious minerals in the last round, mate.
no,
He's
don't, no,
Barcelona.
look, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Sancho was
They're
very good in the
shit.
game.
Barca are shit, man. Barca are shit.
No, but the point I'm
They're
making
soft
is
as anything.
PSG did. You know,
They're a good
sometimes
side, of course,
PSG did what you're suggesting they can't do, which is like fight and dig deep, and they did all of that. Do you see the PSG fans over there? By the way, they're brilliant. Did you see them? See the PSG fans in Dortmund in the away end? They made they had such good support.
They've
Paris
got great
Saint-Germain.
support though. Like they're
Oh, it's
ultras
a
and that. I like
fascinating, it's a
yeah.
fascinating fan
And
culture.
the way their fans almost
Mate, when I was about
dictate what
when,
goes
when
on
I
is
was
nuts
about
as
when I
well.
was about 15, I read a book on it, and it was so fascinating because there's 2 different cops. It's called the Boulogne Boys,
good
who are
cop,
like
bad cop.
yeah, basically. One's called the Boulogne Boys, who are like they kind of model themselves on English style football fans. So the clothing will be very akin to what we're used to seeing. Stone Island,
CPs and all
Aquascutum,
that.
yeah. They'll drink. The drug of choice will be in line with what you'd associate English football fans to
Everything.
adopt. and then amazingly though, so that's one cop behind the goal. In the other end, it's called the Auteil, Utel, whatever, however you pronounce it. And they are like, they support Paris Saint-Germain, they sing the same songs, but there's a completely different fan culture. It's very North African. The culture in the stadium is different.
Yeah.
The clothing is different.
Modric's just skin, man. Skin number
Nutmeg did,
23.
that was
Whoever number
embarrassing.
23 was.
Yes!
He's in Madrid.
He's still going?
Oh, he's not. He's wasted it. He's wasted it.
Well there though. I mean, he didn't make the most of the opportunity that he was presented with, but he did very well.
Nutmeg was nasty.
But no, as a fan culture, and the 2 ends had a big fight. I think 2016, something like that. The 2 ends had a fight, and someone died. And Nicolas Sarkozy, the Prime Minister, was at the game because he's a Paris Saint-Germain fan, and he outlawed both groups.
Yeah.
So it looked like they totally lost the atmosphere in the stadium, but they've obviously got it back now, and I think
They're
everybody's
the ones that
singing
kind
the
of
same
seen this
shit.
push that they wanted to move away from, like, they wanted to move towards, like, young French
But they
team.
didn't-
Like,
well,
stop.
mate, they didn't
buying
let
all these.
anyone in the final game of, I think, Neymar's Paris Saint-Germain career. The ultras put effectively a bodyguard. So it'd be like, say you were one of them, you stand at the gate, and if someone comes in with a season ticket, you're just a fan. You don't work for the club. You're just like, nah, bruv, you're not going up there. So people are like, I've just bought a ticket, and you're like, well, I'm going to beat you up if you go up there. So they go,
Wow.
okay, I ain't going. They made the stadium like 80% empty to make a statement that they didn't want Messi, they didn't want Neymar, they didn't want,
yeah.
you know, they wanted.
They felt their
wanted
club was becoming a
Jacques
fashion
Cousteau.
brand more than a,
Yeah.
you know, with the Jordan things and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which was quite interesting.
No, it's Paris Saint-Germain's a foot because you know they're a brand new club as well. They're only around. They're less
50
than
odd
100.
years
Yeah,
old.
50 years old.
If they lose to Dortmund in the return leg at Paris, it's
we
it's
could
probably
see
the
an
biggest favourite.
all-German final, you know.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah,
think
at
Real Madrid will go
2013
At
through.
Wembley, it's what we had at Wembley last time.
2013.
Do you remember when Arjen Robben dinked the
Yeah.
team?
Yeah, oh, God, that'd be bad, innit?
Well, I mean, it's happened before.
You don't want Munich, Dortmund.
I kind of do.
Well, that's
I
the,
kind of do.
I'd rather Dortmund in the final than PSG. 1,000,000%.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Because the PSG narrative that I've been spinning for 7 years, it
Over
goes,
from Madueke.
gets backed up.
Paris Saint-Germain versus Bayern Munich in a final, though, in terms of like Wembley being electrified, it would be brilliant. It would be like a pulsating
fans.
stadium.
The quality on display's better at PSG, I'd say. But then where was
Madrid
Mbappe in the
Dortmund
game?
would be quite good as well. We've had that before as well. haven't we?
Lewandowski, but that's
Yeah.
more prime Dortmund with Klopp and all that. This Dortmund side feels like
What do you want the Champions League final to be?
Dortmund, Bayern
Madrid.
Munich,
What do you think it will
Dortmund,
be?
Madrid.
Forget that one.
Real
what do you
Madrid,
think it will be?
Real
Predict
Madrid,
the final.
Dortmund. Real Madrid win, and then
I want
Dortmund.
it to be Real Madrid Dortmund. I think it will be Real Madrid PSG.
I think it will be Bayern. So you both think Real Madrid get to the final?
Yeah.
I think Bayern
Getting
there.
that equaliser in
Yeah, it's
in
big,
Germany
big,
is
big.
huge.
But I think Bayern are going to do it. I really do. I think Bayern will get there. I think Bayern, Paris Saint-Germain. Could you two talk up a bit? We can't quite hear you over here. Just a bit louder, please.
I could hear them more
Yeah.
than you.
Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain. That's a wicked final as well. Wembley will be alive with the sound of music.
It's probably the worst final ever when it was
It'd
the
be
COVID
quite
final.
fitting
Remember
just
the
before
COVID
the
final?
Euros, wouldn't it? To have two German teams before German Euros.
Yeah,
Like, it'd be quite mad.
yeah.
Like, Germany's where it's at. I'd like to see. I think Germany are going to win the Euros.
Yeah.
No, fucking
Yeah,
hell.
They are.
more than us.
They're not.
More chance than us.
They don't. They
More
don't.
chance than England.
What? Kai Havertz leading the line.
Talk draw. Talk
Trevor
draw. What's happened?
Chalobah. I told you Trevor Chalobah would be in that team that was better than the team in '95. Trevor Chalobah, so Route One. I tell you what, Tottenham Hotspur cannot defend set pieces.
No.
Time and time again. And the reason they can't is because their manager is a fraud who constantly gets away with it. He's a media darling, and nobody ever wants to call the man out, mate, because he's such a nice guy, man. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Trevor Chalobah, one of our only threats from set piece, has a free header in the box. How many times did we see Arsenal in the box? Free header.
Yeah.
Just a few hours ago. Look at that. Look.
Miles on.
This is onside.
Crossed in. Oh,
Good
my
header.
Well
God.
defending, man.
Good header.
That's a great header.
Mate,
by
what
him.
about I mean,
I like him a lot.
Arsenal against Tottenham scored 2 goals from set pieces, didn't they? 2 goals from corners.
Fantastic ball by Gallagher. I think.
Conor Gallagher's cross, Trevor
Completely
Chalobah,
unmarked.
wallop.
How's he unmarked?
We're going to do the double over Tottenham. It makes the season palatable, man. It makes a good season.
does, yeah, it
makes
does.
the season palatable. We stopped Tottenham qualifying for the Champions League, just like we stopped them winning the league.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They don't want to
That's
come
amazing.
to Stamford. No!
No, it's not offside, man.
It's definitely not offside
Unless
by
it's
the
like a blocking thing again.
It's definitely not offside by the true definition of the word terminology offside.
Look,
Great
they can't
cross
even
from
get the
Conor
right
Gallagher.
freeze frame. Look at the freeze frame.
Yeah, the ball's been kicked there, hasn't
They
it?
don't even know what
Yeah.
freeze frame
Balls
to
are
use.
already left.
The balls-
his foot
They're
at that
zooming
point.
in on stuff like
No, the ball's,
Yeah, the
that's
ball's
too
left
late.
his foot.
That's
Yeah,
too
yeah,
late.
yeah.
Hey, man.
That's too late.
They haven't got a good enough cameras. For
No, they
No, you
haven't.
need high frame rate, don't you?
He's
Oh,
onside by
pathetic,
miles.
man.
That's not up for debate.
The guy who scored is onside
By
by
miles.
The only
He's
one
coming
that's
from behind.
offside is the defender walking back. And the player that is blocking can't get the ball anyway.
yeah, yeah.
So there's no interference.
There's absolutely.
He's miles
Cucurella's
on.
onside as
It's
well.
Van de
So
Ven.
Cucurella's
Yeah,
not
yeah. Van de
interfering.
Ven.
The good news is this is a goal.
They're looking at Cucurella, I think, and Cucurella's onside. So what he's done is fine.
It's not
That's
good
not
news.
a
He
foul.
scored a good goal. There should be
But
no
are
debate.
they looking at it as a foul rather than an offside?
No, as an offside. Remember the Liverpool one?
Yeah, fine. This is
Because you're
goal.
allowed to block.
No,
You're
this
not
is
allowed to be offside
yeah,
and
yeah.
block.
This is a goal.
What are you checking?
goal.
Why ruin the sport for this?
Goal.
No, this is this is fine.
Yeah, it's not fine.
No, it's not fine because of the hold up, and it's not fine because of the purity of the game. But it's fine. in
Prick with
terms
the
of
military haircut.
Villa are coming out as well with Olympiacos. Are they playing Olympiacos?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had some good memories against them.
Possible foul.
No, if it's a foul,
On
that's a problem.
Cucurella.
I mean,
That's
that's
not a foul.
That's not a foul.
It's
Is
not
it?
a foul.
I mean, he could easily.
But
That's just
it's
in the box,
reminiscent.
man.
What's it reminiscent of? Aston Villa, Chelsea.
Yeah.
The little push.
That's not a foul.
But that's even less.
He's
That's
using
even
his
less than
shoulder to hold
Dizazi.
him.
Because then he's stopping running. Is it
Game's
Porro?
done, you know. Oi,
That
lads,
can't
mark
be
up the
ruled
stream
out.
If this is ruled out, I think football.
There's nothing to rule that out
you
for.
can't rule.
There is.
I'm going to go.
And it's
full
still
Buvey.
going on.
This
Look,
gets
look,
ruled out.
it's
Yeah.
still, we're still talking about
It's
it.
not a foul.
They can't make a decision in time.
He's not offside. It's not a foul. Play on, man.
The players are walking on Aston
This is
Villa.
what I mean. It's the
Olympiacos.
referees that are looking at it. They're idiots, man.
They can't
It's a
genuinely.
goal. Thank for God for
Yes.
that. The stream continues.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that was even analysed to that degree is just pathetic.
Once the offside
Absolutely
was
pathetic.
cleared, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
'Cause it's
Because even
never a
if it was a foul, yeah,
It's
the
not clear and
referee didn't
obvious.
deem it a
Also,
foul.
Mark Cucurella kind of standing his ground, making it slightly awkward.
You're allowed.
As a defender, if you're Brendan Johnson in that situation, your responsibility is to be stronger than Mark Cucurella.
Yeah.
Like, the game is allowed to be slightly physical. You're allowed to use your body. Like, it's a ridiculous
Also,
debate.
It's getting
If
to
a
the point
defender
now.
does that, it's fine. So why can't
Yeah,
an attacker
exactly.
do it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's getting to the point now. If I stop Rory running, all he has to say is, "Well, you stop me running."
Yeah.
Make a display
Yeah,
physically
I fall
to the
over.
camera. It's almost
I
like
fall over and
you're almost
go
performing to the
obstruction.
cameras.
I go
It's
obstruction.
like Big
Yeah,
Brother. Oh look, I've been pushed. It's
Yeah,
pathetic, man. It stops the physicality of the sport.
Thank God for that. Anyway,
That was rightly
Shit,
given,
innit?
but it was
it was.
I'm glad I'm seeing more
one of the
Generally-
times where I agree with.
There's a
Bruno.
lot of journalists coming out now and saying about this. By the way, I'm seeing a bit of a movement towards it.
But the movement needs to be against referees because the referees are crap.
It's a
It doesn't
redundant
help
argument.
when all these TV companies are going to meet them every week and
No, but the
getting half
referees-
the refs on their
No,
shows.
but the referees.
Technology
referees need
technology has to
respect.
go first.
Referees
Technology
need to lose
first.
their jobs.
Go on,
and get
Mudrik
better.
into the space. Go,
Mudrik's going
rapid.
to clip him. Oh, he didn't.
It's always
I thought
just.
he was
It always never. There's no conviction, is
no,
there?
there's no
with
conviction.
Referees need to
final-
fear for their jobs.
But they can't.
You know what I mean? They
won't.
need to fear
They
for
won't.
their
Yes. Go on, Connor. That's it. Too strong for him.
What
Don't want it with Gallagher.
What makes the biggest difference is getting rid of VAR first, not changing how referees are taught. The biggest impact we can make to football, making it better to what it used to be, is getting rid of technology.
Also,
first.
losing the dark arts is bad for the game. You know the little dark arts
Yeah.
where
No,
like
that's
that.
part of football. I completely agree.
Just little.
They don't know what- they don't know what it is.
I
They don't know what it
completely
is.
agree. Like, do you know, and Adam, you do this a lot actually. You know, when you celebrate the brilliance of Ricardo Carvalho, you know, when you acknowledge quite how good he was. Part of your summary of why he was so good is all of the stuff that he would now be penalised for. Like, he was elite at everything that you're saying there. Like, absolutely elite.
Little pull on sleeve.
Like, John Terry scored an amazing header against Barcelona in the game where Ronaldinho scored that goal. John Terry scores against Barcelona. If you watch their goal, I think it's Valdez. I'm not joking. Carvalho, literally just on him, just not allowing him, because that was the game. Like, the part of the game is
can't get up.
make life hard for them and be.
Chance
like,
into the box.
Ben-
again.
you're all over
he
these.
fell over.
Like, Ben White's making a career out of it at the moment on set pieces.
Yeah, and people are trying to like.
I can't. Can we, for 1 second here, just focus on not Chelsea, but Ange Postecoglou? A few days ago, we were on the French Riviera and we were watching Tottenham get absolutely battered by Arsenal. Okay, the scoreline doesn't reflect that, but we saw it in real time.
yeah.
We know that they were battered, embarrassed, absolutely smashed to bits by Arsenal, and Ange Postecoglou got away with it. They haven't learned a thing from it. They haven't learned a thing. They are still. Oh, look, he's geezer.
If they score now,
No.
well,
That's fine as well.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. There's
yeah,
nothing
stuff
wrong
like
with
that. Stuff like that.
Although Rory's
Nice.
about to call for it.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I call for everything though.
yeah.
I'm a fan, right? So you've seen Tottenham against Newcastle United a couple of weeks ago, right?
What was that? 5-1.
4
like that.
4-0 was it? Right, when Isak had that
4-0.
Van der Ven,
Yeah.
when Isak had that Van der Ven spinning, right, like a whatever you call
Beyblade.
it, right,
Beyblade.
right. So you've got them getting
Yo-yo.
slapped to bits at St James's Park, and everyone went, you know, when you play expansive football, man, that's what happens, mate. And then they play Arsenal, and they get absolutely slapped to bits again, and everyone goes, okay, that's what happens, mate. Now they've conceded another set piece here. How many set pieces? Hang on a minute. They conceded set pieces at Newcastle as well.
Yeah, loads
How
of
many set pieces of Newcastle have Tottenham?
Yeah.
How many
They're
set
lucky
pieces?
we're shit because they would have got pulled back for us and we would have
Mate.
caught them easy.
Yeah, they play into the referee's
why
hands.
is nobody talking about it? This is what I
The
find
Spurs
so
aren't a
frustrating.
big club.
But they are.
Like Spurs don't
No, but
dominate
people-
the headlines
no,
like
but-
a Man United
No,
or
but people,
Arsenal
but
do.
people talk about them when it was going well for them. People enough spoke about them then. People were really saying, "God, aren't they great, mate?"
But I remember saying at the start of the season when people comparing him to like Ten Hag, like next season going to be very different for them because he's
were
been
right.
there a year.
Put us on Australian telly now, mate.
Yeah.
Put us on Australian telly now. The amount of flack we got from Australian telly
Come on, Optus.
telling us, yeah.
Where you at, Optus
Yeah,
Sport?
where you at, Optus?
Home and
you
away?
mugs?
Was it-
Where you at?
Yeah, where you at, Ramsey Street?
Was it Optus Sports?
Yeah.
They're
One
a
of
big
them.
company.
One of them. They're making
Sign
jokes
us
out of
up,
us.
Optus.
They're putting us.
If you ever want videos from me, just let me know.
Mate, they're
Slide
putting
into my
us,
DMs.
putting us on the TikTok, telling us that we don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, Palmer sent him shot.
Touch.
Mudrik, one to
Mudrik's
beat.
in.
One to
Come on.
beat.
100
One
mil.
to beat.
100 mil.
Oh! Just never going his
tried
way.
to
You have to
postage
say that.
stamp
What
it.
you say every time.
No
It's just
conviction.
never quite. It
looks good.
It just never
What do
quite.
you make of the little ponytail? There's no need for that ponytail.
He's
Is
an
there?
idiot through and through.
He's an idiot.
Like the
man.
ponytail's yay big.
You don't care about anything. I think he's a nihilist, really. I think his whole approach to football is it just fuck it, see what happens.
A nihilist.
Yeah, nihilist. It's tomato in it. But he sort of, I don't think he cares. You know, there's a part of it, I just don't think he cares. I think he enjoys playing football, runs as quick as he can, tries to score. He just isn't trying to improve, is he? Has he improved in a year?
No.
Nowhere near.
No in it. No in
I
it.
think he gives it F, to be honest.
If any Villa fans are watching us, we've got the Villa game on as well, so we'll keep you updated about that. Olympiacos has just gone close. Good save by Olsen, who's in goal today. Is that because Martinez is injured or rotation?
Go on, Carl.
Chelsea in the box.
Eesh.
He got
But I
banned
thought
in
the whole
penalty
thing
shoot.
was that he knew he wasn't going to get banned.
No, he
on
knew
the
he was going to
night.
get sent
Can't
off.
get sent off on the
I
night.
see.
Can't get sent off on the night.
Well, it was worth it, I guess.
Although you kind of half don't think the ref's ever going to book you there, innit?
After the
You think
World
you'll
Cup,
get
they've
away
changed-
with it once
they've
in a
changed the
shoot.
rules now.
Yeah.
After the World Cup, actually.
How are people feeling as we
Tottenham
wind down
season.
towards the end of the season? Are we?
I can't wait for it to end. I hate this season.
But then are you looking forward to the Euros? Do you need a break from footy? How do you feel?
No, I need the Euros to start immediately. I need
me
a
and you have
tonic
had a
to invigorate
dead
my
season, yeah.
life. No, my Chelsea season ended. Chelsea season basically revolved around beating Arsenal to stop them winning the league, beating Tottenham to stop them qualifying for Europe, and hoping Man City win every game. It's a horrible way to approach football. Simply approaching football through the lens of Schadenfreude. It's awful. But no, I need England to play. I need England to play really well, and I need it to start as soon as possible because this season has been probably the worst I've ever known.
Do you want me to tell you the truth of what's going to happen in the summer?
I think we agree. I think I know, but I'm making a pledge.
Just believe.
Even though I agree
Blindly.
with you,
It hurts less if you at least go into it pragmatic. I'm going in pessimistically, so it doesn't hurt as much. Because every year, I'm in a pub somewhere with my mates, 10 pints down, crying my eyes out, all on a street.
What I'm going to do...
England aren't even playing.
What I'm going to...
It's just in the pub.
Euros aren't even on.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
But yeah,
She did text me back.
the World Cup, Euros 2016, World Cup 24. Well, not 14. There's no belief there anyway. But
do you know the... See,
2010?
for me, there's always been belief. I've always thought that we're going to do it. I'm very much, that song from like 82 or whatever, this time, more than any other time, this time.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that goes, right, this time. This is actually it. Like last time wasn't it? This is actually it. But what I'm going to try and do, and I'm not very good at doing this, but what I'm going to try and do from maybe now, this is the moment, I'm not going to critique Southgate. I'm not going to say that England need a new manager. I'm not going to have that conversation because ultimately it doesn't help. England aren't going to have a new manager for the Euros. Gareth Southgate will be England's manager.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do from this second now is just totally pledge aggressive
I think
support.
it's like when you play poker and you need an ace on the river and you call for it, it doesn't make a difference.
But with Southgate, he will be England manager for the Euros.
Yeah.
So
complaining about it is completely pointless. But also there's like a bit of reverse psychology I think you're doing to try and like limit how much hurt
Pain.
you're going to have.
Also, it's
when we get
because
knocked out.
he doesn't want to ruin his experience by focusing on the manager, I think is what he's saying.
And that's
Danny Yusuf
very
with
valid,
the super chat. We can't put it on the screen because it's so long, but thank you for the super chat. It says, in the most competitive and hardest era of football, it's 2000 to 2025, I think.
right,
he's saying.
fair enough.
So one of those
35.
years we haven't even got to yet. The second
Quarter of a
most won
century.
Champions Leagues were won by Barca, just behind Real. 4-7, that's heritage and dominant.
Wait, you can't just... He's presented his opinion as fact. I don't agree with that.
No, but
I
he's
don't
given
agree.
some
What,
facts
his
within
comment
that.
is the most dominant
comment-
side of the last 25 years is Barcelona.
He's saying it's the most hardest era.
No, he said
I
it's the
don't think
hardest
it's true.
era. He
I'd
said in the
argue-
hardest era of football.
I think
I
it
think
is
this is
to
the.
the
I think if
noughties.
the era that we're in now is actually a
Conveniently.
shoddy year for football.
Oh, it's poor, yeah.
I think the standard.
It's poor.
If you look at the players that
Villa
we're
might have a
celebrating,
penalty.
if you look at the players that we're celebrating now, I think that there is a real focus and almost appreciation of very mediocre footballers at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a particularly good era of football at all.
I agree.
Yeah, I saw a great video about this actually, about how Mbappe was missing against Dortmund. Bellingham went missing. Bellingham's meant to be the next Ballon d'Or winner. Massive player. I've been a huge fan of him. He got substituted 74 minutes against Bayern Munich. And obviously we can comment if he's fit or not. But he had a very, very poor game. He didn't touch the ball much at all, didn't influence things. The standard of the top level players right now, Haaland's included. Haaland did nothing against Real Madrid in 2 ties. The standard's poor.
Yeah, I agree.
But also,
I
do
completely
you not
agree.
think, though, to kind of just bring a counterpoint to that, I agree with what you're saying generally. But, with Bellingham now, millions and billions of people see every single 90 minutes of his. They don't just see him on Match of the Day. They don't just see him on whatever, on the FA Cup when that's on. You see every game of his for 90 minutes. Like, there's, like, that never used to be the case. You never used to get to see that.
We didn't get to see that. But what we did
analyze now every player.
But what we did definitely.
The issue is I don't watch every Real Madrid game. I watch the big ones, and then I look at the standard. I think
in the biggest games, also if you just look at the big players, like there was a time not that long ago where in the same team you had Zidane, Figo, and Beckham. I don't feel like any team is. I don't feel like there's icons like that
Real
around.
Team though, didn't really
That's
win.
the Mbappe thing.
No, they didn't.
Mbappe. But he's playing against Dortmund.
With Justin Romero miss a big chance for Spurs. Let's just have a look at this. Let's have a look at this for the people at home. Big chance miss, free kick into the box.
Good ball.
Yeah, you're right. It was him against Arsenal, wasn't
Twice against Arsenal.
And it's the same header.
Gilchrist lets him go.
Almost the same header. He slices the header.
Yeah. Oh, he's got to score.
How can you put Romero, one of their strongest headers of the ball,
on Gilchrist? I know.
Surely when
that has to be Chalobah, doesn't it? Has to be Chalobah.
I'll do this, lads.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, help him out a little.
Has to be Chalobah.
I think a lot of that's lost in today's game as well. Like just a young player will be out there. It's like, bro, you're on your own. Do
you know what? Do you know what I think it is? I think there's a massive "I'm all right, Jack" mentality. So you know Mark Cucurella, for example. I don't think Mark Cucurella cares if Chelsea concede as long as it's not his man that concedes. Concedes.
Yeah.
I'm all right, Jack. Well, my man didn't score.
Yeah.
And everybody's looking after themselves. There's no like team unity. But no, I think overall, to go back to the super chat, it's an interesting one from Danny. I think you said Danny's assertion that we're living in the most competitive era of football. I massively disagree with that. I mean, he's made it over 25 years, which
Villa have
is
scored!
a bit of a cop out.
Oh, it's offside.
But to make it over 25 years. But if you look at it over the past 5 years, we're certainly not.
We're in a real low point.
Yeah, we are.
Madwakey.
Go back 10 years. Go back 15 years.
Yeah.
And look at the players that were playing for Chelsea, the players that were playing for Arsenal, the players that were playing for Man United, the players that were playing for Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. In the same era.
Don't look at the City ones, you'll have nightmares.
In the same era, right? In the same era, at Bayern Munich, you had ribbon and robbery. You had robbery.
Ribbon and robbery. Ribbon and robbing.
You know what? I didn't even catch it. It was went over my head. Ribbon and robbery.
I saw a great stat.
Jesus.
Yeah. At this point,
that's the Rick and Morty version.
You know when Mourinho won the league title with Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Ronaldo at this point of the season scored 43 goals. Right.
Really?
Messi was second with 42.
Wow.
The top scorer right now plays for Girona. He's got 19 goals. They can't even touch 20.
Yeah.
And you're like,
but that's the same. That's a little bit the same here. Like so just to prove that the thing that he said about the last 25 years. If you go back 30 years, so you go back to the late 90s, and you think about the players that were regularly hitting 20 goals a season,
Rivaldo,
even in the Premier League. So now you're looking at
Andy Cole.
Well, you're looking at Andy Cole, Les Ferdinand, Robbie Fowler, Dwight York, Andy Cole. Jimmy Floyd has one. Like the list goes on and on and on. Matt Letizia was doing it. Michael Owen was doing it.
Kevin Phillips.
Two.
Is that a shot?
That's fucking ridiculous. Mudryk. Right. Every single team. Mudryk's had a shot. I'd say only. Oh.
I get dumber watching this. I get dumber watching Mudryk play football. I get dumber. I get worse at football.
Look, Chelsea are really trying to press them so high because they're insisting on playing out from the back. Let's see if we can make it work. Mudryk, go at pace. On his touch. Could have won.
What is it? Do you think
Villa's goal didn't stand by
kids growing up? What is it? So the kid. Let's just take.
Could I just bring a point into what he was saying?
Yeah.
So what you were saying there was like
in the late
Les
90s,
Ferdinand was at Newcastle or Spurs. You had Kevin Phillips at Sunderland, and nowadays Kevin Phillips at Sunderland gets snapped up by one of the top teams for 100 million and put into their squad because their squad's 26 players, and back then it was like 18 players. So then.
I don't know if that's not a fair assessment though.
I do kind of feel like squad numbers play a big part in that. You know what I mean? Like now,
but I don't think you can. Okay, City have got two great strikers, not Haaland and Alvarez.
But if Kevin
Man United
Phillips,
don't,
that's Sunderland
Chelsea
now,
don't,
no,
Spurs don't.
Some of the big boys take him.
But it's a comment on there aren't anyone to put. You said Kevin Phillips.
Also,
there aren't many.
Football changed when Didier Drogba arrived in his country. Football changed. Football went from two at the back, two up front, to one up front, and as a result, there's half the amount of strikers around because everyone plays one now. Whereas prior to Didier Drogba arriving,
you'd have more
forwards.
like world-class midfielders than you've ever had because everyone's playing free now.
Do you know when I say that we're celebrating media, and I don't want this to sound harsh, but I feel like, if you think about the plaudits that a lot of people give to say Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney's nowhere near as good a player as, say,
I'd say Emil Heskey.
Dwight York. I think
Heskey was class.
I think you're right.
Yeah, Heskey's a better footballer than Ivan Toney.
You know, like Dwight York.
Leicester era, maybe.
Dwight York.
Yeah, his
and
prime.
Liverpool era. And Liverpool
Banging
era.
up Germany,
He wasn't a
5-1.
huge goal scorer, though, after
Yeah, but it
that.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
neither
He's
does
in the 100 club.
Neither does Tony. Dwight York, people don't really talk about him.
Dion
Great striker debate. Dwight York's not in it at all. He's just not part of it. Dwight York is 10 times the player that Ollie Watkins is. 10 times the player that Ollie Watkins is. Teddy Sheringham doesn't come into the.
So my question is, let's say you zoom in. Thierry Henry, when he's 10 years old, he's training with all his mates, and he's becoming potentially one of the best strikers the league's ever seen. He's got a raft of kids all trying to be strikers. They're looking at the kids below them and stuff like that. What are the kids of these days training for then? Why are there less good players?
Do you know what? It's such a big thing.
I think because everyone's the same amount of level of fitness now. Like, everyone's fit. So athleticism is probably the highest it's ever going to be. So you could just be a great athlete, and now all of a sudden you're considered to be a very good footballer. When not necessarily
I also think there's a real problem with the Mavericks of a bygone era. Matt Letizia as a player, right? The goal, the quality of goals that geezer scored was unbelievable, but he couldn't really run. I don't know if he's a Premier League footballer these days.
No.
Is Paul Gascoigne arguably the most naturally gifted footballer this country has ever produced? Arguably. The only one comparable is Wayne Rooney. I think most people will say Rooney, but I think Gazza is a legitimate shout. He was a bit fat. He was a bit unprofessional. Would he be a Premier League footballer now? Because
would he not be a better footballer? Possibly because of
I think
he'd have better fitness
out of him though,
things.
because it all came
maybe he wouldn't be able
to
to get away with it.
But then solo run, a manager would say instead of the solo run,
lay it off.
a 1-2 or
lay
sideways.
off.
But then you get managers that start to go. It's like when we talk about when I said like Grealish should go back to Villa, but when you actually think about it, because Emery's there now, he probably couldn't be the same Grealish at Villa.
Yeah,
it's more like Grealish should go to Barcelona or like go to a Spanish league or the German league.
Oh, Conor Gallagher, stop it. Stop it, sir. No, but do you know what? I'll give you a great example here, right? Paul Gascoigne wearing that banker, the Lazio shirt with the bank on it, right? Glorious kit, long sleeves, and he's wearing a mask. He's broken his cheek. He's wearing a mask. He scores this goal where he picks the ball up on the edge of his own D, and I'm not joking, it's an unbelievable skill. Kicks the ball forward, and the ball doesn't move. The ball just goes in a straight line, and he's running, and he's dropping his shoulder, and all these defenders in front of him, Italian defenders, in the 90s, are all just collapsing because he's not doing anything to the ball. They're all just collapsing. I think now, like, it resulted in a goal, so everyone applauded. But if he tried that now, for Guardiola, say, and he didn't hit the back of the net, if you score, I don't think you can get grief. But if you don't score, you hit the post and it goes off. I think that you're more likely to get subbed than applauded for something like that these days. I think you're more like your manager is because you've given the ball away.
Out of them. The individuality has been coached out of a lot of players.
Just finally, for the last time, thank you for your super chat, Danny. I don't believe that football is better now than it's ever been. I think I would argue that it's worse.
I think certain
now.
aspects are better.
I think it peaked.
But I think there's players that would have. But some of the players, if they had the pitches and the fitness and the chefs and the trainers and all that now, you'd see players on another level. Like some of those players, if they played now. But
Glenn Hoddle, would he be a Premier League footballer now? Like, you look at the way that he played, the grace with which he moved, the ease at which he did it.
No, but then
he didn't fucking tackle anyone.
A lot of his talents were...
He didn't tackle anyone, ever.
Yeah.
It's like saying... It's like maybe Phil Foden's closest to one of those footballers.
Chelsea.
Oh!
Now.
Sorry, Spurs.
You know what I mean?
Phil Foden.
He's probably closest to one of those
Just so you know, lads, I think a goal has been ruled out. I think Olympiacos have scored. Konza appeals to the offside, and the offside is given.
Jack
It's still
going everywhere.
Aston Villa 0, Olympiacos 0.
Both teams have had a goal, yeah.
Both teams had a goal ruled out. Brilliant from Trevor Chalobah. I voted for Trevor Chalobah to be our player of the year last year just because I love him so much. I just like him. He's another one that could be offloaded,
It was at 100% profits.
Do you think that it's a ridiculous system that encourages this?
I think it's one of the faults of the FFP thing. Obviously,
like greedy owners are the problem.
Technically, you can't go. That can't be anything other than 100% profit because it is. But it's one of the benefits now of that. And Olympiacos goal has stood.
Oh, it stood.
And they have scored Al Karbi with the goal.
Oh God, great header, Mudryk.
Villa need to win at home as well.
3-0 down against Olympiacos with Moyes in their ground. Then we beat them 4-0 at Old Trafford, Van Persie.
I went to Olympiacos away. Listen to how bad this is. Can you believe how unlucky I am? Going to Athens. I didn't get back 2 days after I was supposed to. Snow. Snow.
What did you do? Just stay in a hotel, chill in Athens?
Yeah. The airline sorted us out a bit. But I'm stuck in Athens. You know, I had things to do.
Yeah.
I had, those really, really average scripts for Alan Carr weren't going to write themselves.
A cross there from whoever number 22 is for Spurs.
What, Friday Night Project?
Back in.
No, Alan Carr, chatty man.
Oh, right, yeah.
No, I didn't work with the Bristolian.
I see him around town. I've given me.
Is he about? Yeah.
Alan Carr's dad's
he walks around Bristol
manager, isn't it?
Yeah, he's Newcastle.
He talks about it a lot.
Alan Carr's father. It's weird, isn't it? Alan Carr's father was in charge of Newcastle's recruitment years ago.
Is he related to Stephen Carr?
He didn't. No, Stephen Carr isn't involved.
Not
but
related
Alan
to Jimmy Carr either.
Oh no, Jimmy Carr. No.
Any other cars?
He's not related to Tracy Chapman's fast car either.
Yeah, Tracy Chapman's fast car. It's a great, great song. That. Gets me going. That
the performance at the Grammys
Wembley
was amazing. Was it at Wembley?
Who?
Oh, you want about the old one?
Tracy Chapman
the
sings
one at the Grammys.
Fast Car at Wembley, and she's a last-minute replacement for someone like Prince or someone who bails. And it's at the old Wembley, and she's singing it a cappella with no backing.
It's unreal.
Really, it's a great tune.
I think was it at Glastonbury?
90,000.
Glastonbury wouldn't have been at Wembley though, would it?
No,
it was
Glastonbury
like
would be at Glastonbury.
Yeah,
it was like a bit like when Queen performed at Wembley.
Band-Aid.
We're into 4 minutes of added time here in the Spurs-Chelsea game, and it might be a corner for Chelsea as we head towards the last 10 seconds.
Beating Tottenham at Stamford Bridge, What a season. The double over Tottenham.
Have you boys been watching Baby Reindeer?
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah. That episode 4.
I've not watched all of it, so...
Have you gone on from 4?
I finished it now.
But I watched the first few.
You told me to watch it.
Yeah. Have you finished
He cock teases that bird.
What bird? I know.
Wait, where are you?
Yeah.
I've watched the first 2 or something.
That's the point. You can't. I made the same comment to my mate. I said, "Oh,
no, but even later he does. Even later he does.
After 3 or 4, you kind of
he opens the door
explains it, doesn't
he? But he opens the door way too much.
Yeah,
he opens the door way.
But you also say, well, hang on a second. Like a lot of it was trauma related.
The thing that
that's why there's a semi-justification. I think you're right, but
I did feel like I wouldn't be in this situation because I wouldn't be
friend
the lunatic.
You tell her to fuck off.
Mate, I'm not joking as well. You know when she...
Have you seen her tweet?
Say it.
She's been posted on Facebook.
Mate,
yeah.
And she's been trying to say, that's not me, but she writes in the exact same...
You know my favourite bit is sent from Uffon. I'm going to start doing that at the end of my day. Sent from Uffon.
She hasn't got an iPhone. Never seen her on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Sent from
iPhone. And what about that? Have you seen the bit yet where she goes, "You want bum sex?" She's like, "Well, I've never done that, but now you've asked."
That happens as well.
Yeah, he's not far enough. That's the point. I think it'd be interesting to see what you think when he explains his life before meeting her.
I did feel really bad watching it because I was like,
she's a sad girl. She's a sad.
Yeah, I want to know who the TV producer is in Swiss Cottage.
I'm getting a TikTok thing now about it.
Did you hear the line where he goes? We know when he gets kicked out of the mother-in-law, the house, and he goes, "I've been kicked out of the house. I've got to move to Kilburn." I was like,
did he say that?
Offensive. Yeah, he goes, "Oh, been kicked out of the house. I've got to move to a flat.
To the party house.
I've got to move to a flat in Kilburn."
He was dumb about that.
In a little while.
He was dumb about that. She was sat on the bus stop and all that.
Yes.
You know what's mad as well? He's reliving his own trauma by acting in it.
I know. That's the genius of the show.
He's written himself a vehicle, hasn't he? You know, it went to Edinburgh. The reason that it became a thing was it went to Edinburgh because, towards the end, he sits down and he types. And what you see him type is, "I felt sorry for her at first. My first feeling was I felt sorry for her." And he writes it on the page. That was the first line of the whole show. Which
have you watched the original video?
What original video?
The breakdown.
The breakdown on stage is on YouTube. The original.
No,
breakdown.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't got to the television.
Oh, what? When she's in the room laughing and all that? When the girl is when he breaks down.
Yeah, you can see it on YouTube.
Can you really?
Yeah.
And you know the way that he performed it when we saw it in the show that I've seen?
Very similar.
Is it the same wording?
Yeah,
is it identical wording? Is it identical wording?
No, it's not.
No.
I've read comments because you know what's happened? I've kind of jumped ahead without jumping ahead. I've seen people talking about that.
Try not to spoil it, mate, because it will.
But it's a real life thing, isn't it?
Yeah, there are parts that you don't know yet, so I hope you don't spoil it. Because it's amazing.
You know
You'll
how
love it.
You're on the TikTok. If you see a name for the TV producer, can you send it to me?
Yeah.
'Cause I really want to know. Thank you. Is it possible for someone to do a drinks run if I give a card? Yeah. Do you want a drink?
It's half-time here between Chelsea and Spurs. It's 1-0 to Chelsea. Buvey, just go. You've already in shot. Remember, we're sponsored and brought to you by Super 6. So make sure you're downloading the Super 6 app. The link is in the description below. Thank you very much to Super 6 for sponsoring us. We've got a huge game at the end of the season as well between club and pitch side. We'll be taking on the pitch side at Millwall's ground, yeah? And it's going to be incredible. And I cannot wait for it. We're building a great team, and you could be part of that by winning our Super 6 Mini League. The code is Club 23. Get involved because, yeah, man, you want to be involved. You can win £250,000 for nothing. We're watching Chelsea against Spurs here. We're also watching Villa against Olympiacos. We're also talking about Baby Reindeer. It is all going on here. 1-0 half-time. How you feeling, Raw?
I'm feeling really good. Look, beating Tottenham it's exactly what I live for. The whole point of my life is to make sure that we beat Tottenham. We've already beaten them at White Hart Lane. We're halfway to doing the double over them. We're halfway to making sure that they don't qualify for Europe. And I actually think that we're halfway to at least instigating the genesis of a conversation around Ange Postecoglou getting it wrong. Because I just don't think that it's focused upon at all. I really don't. They have been slapped at Newcastle. They have been slapped at Arsenal. They are getting slapped at Stamford Bridge. At some point, someone needs to go, do you know what, mate? I'm not convinced that your devotion to playing that high line is necessarily the best thing to do, mate, because you keep getting beaten every week, mate. So that's what I think should happen. I'm so good at accents.
You do that on other like, because on the club, your Australian accents become a bit of a thing. You do that on, like, the radio and other, when you're on radio.
No.
And you're talking about Ange. Do you switch on the Aussie accent, or do you save it just for us?
I think it's more tailored to you, but maybe I should.
It's like,
maybe it should just become my accent.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just deliver everything in my sort of Aussie approach. But no, look, overall, this is a huge win for us, primarily because what it does is it guarantees Tottenham not playing in the Champions League next year, which, the way that Chelsea are at the moment, our season has been a complete disaster. I find my enjoyment elsewhere. And if you are a true football fan, you will empathise with this. If you want to be high and mighty and hashtag class and hashtag nice touch, you won't agree with this. But if you are a true petty tribal football fan, you will know that schadenfreude and finding delight in making your rivals fail is the point of football as much as anything else. Like, I saw a debate. Have you seen the debate going on about, it's going on, I follow quite a lot of Tottenham fans, I know quite a lot of Tottenham fans. There's a debate going on in their circle about how they get on against Man City. And some Tottenham fans are going, if you want us to lose this game, you don't support us. You're not a proper Tottenham fan. And I felt like replying and going, no, if you're a Tottenham fan and you want Tottenham to beat Man City, you aren't a Tottenham fan. There is nothing about being a Tottenham fan that allows Tottenham fans to want to win that game.
Is the argument on a sporting level that you don't want your side to ever lose?
No, that isn't true. No,
is
that's
that what
the
they're
logic.
Saying?
That's the logic. Like, you know my wife, who has absolutely no interest or understanding of football. She would go, Rory's a football fan. He supports Chelsea. He wants Chelsea to win every game, because that is the understanding without understanding the nuances and the rivalry and the tribalism and the jeopardy. They don't get it. He's a Chelsea fan. He wants Chelsea to win. 2 and 2 equals. But that's because you don't get it.
I remember '99 though, when United played Spurs on the final day. Arsenal, forgot who they played. Might have been Villa.
No, you played Tottenham.
But we played Spurs.
You played
Spurs
Tottenham. They went 1-0
Spurs
up.
fans didn't want to be winning.
Yeah, Les Ferdinand.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Les Ferdinand put Tottenham 1-0 up at Old Trafford. And the Tottenham fans are in the away like that. Going, oh my God.
And Arsenal fans were at Highbury with Spurs flags and shit. Come on, Spurs.
Yeah,
it's mad.
No, I remember.
Maybe
in a far
smaller
scale, we played Bolton last day of the season one year. Jody Morris scored. And if we'd lost that game, Everton would have been relegated. Chelsea fans obviously have no rivalry particularly with either, but I think Chelsea fans it meant nothing to us. We're in the home end, singing "Let Them Score," because they stay up, Everton go down. That's funnier.
Yeah,
amazing. I don't understand any kind of if you are a Tottenham fan and you want Tottenham to beat Man City, I don't believe you're a Tottenham fan. You can't want to win that game.
I remember we lost 1-0 against West Ham for them to stay up, Tevez. And I remember thinking after that game, Fergie's let Alan Kirsch get us. You know, like when
Had you already won the league?
Yeah. I remember just feeling like, this is weird, isn't it? Like,
yeah. The only reason why you want to win that game is because I quite like the idea of relegating whoever's come to Stamford Bridge.
I wanted to relegate.
Like, I want you to have a bad experience at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you... Like, we relegated Leeds when they went down in 2004. God, that was a rough day. Can you imagine that?
Did you relegate them?
They were relegated already, but their final Premier League game was at Stamford Bridge. And yeah, mate.
James Milner would have played that game.
Yeah, he must have.
Mad, innit?
Yeah, he must
I
have.
remember when
He
Rooney...
scored against us that year. We went away. We got beat by Leeds 2-0 away. And... he scored. He scored on his debut, I think. He was 16 years old.
Rooney became the youngest player to play in the Prem, and then he just broke it straight away, didn't he?
Do you know who the youngest? See, you do the youngest player in the Premier League. The answer is Rooney in the Premier League. But do you know who it actually is? Because
so James Milner never broke that?
no,
I always thought James Milner broke it.
Do you remember he played for Tottenham? I think he came for Ipswich. A geezer called Jason Dazelle. I think his son's a professional now. Someone will know in the chat. Is there a Dazelle? I'm sure there's a Dazelle playing. But Jason Dazelle was the young. I think he was like he went to school on the Monday. Like literally went to school. He played for Ipswich in the top flight, and then went to school on the Monday.
You see the Ipswich thing? Last 2 seasons, back-to-back promotions. Essentially, they're going to do it this weekend. They've lost 10 games in those 2 seasons.
It's brilliant.
Unreal.
It's brilliant. But in that division as well, they all beat each other.
So 20 games
across 2 campaigns, they've lost 10 games.
They've only lost 10 games. Basically
Outrageous.
by Leverkusen, isn't it? 2 super chats to read out. Let's go. Apologies if we've been missing any of them. We'll try and read out as many as possible. Will Kirkland Gallagher. That might be the longest surname
It's
ever.
great eyesight from you.
It's like Jan Vennegoor of Hesseling, that, isn't it? Hard comparing eras, but football is way quicker, more intense now. Defenders faster than ever, way less time on the ball. Yeah.
What, defenders faster than ever? What does that even mean?
They're fitter, innit? You don't. You Gary Pallister and Steve Bruce don't make it.
No, but Des Walker and Sol Campbell do.
But then Steve Bruce and Gary Pallister maybe.
Also, why? Wait, you don't
they were
actually mean
smart
that
defenders.
Steve Bruce doesn't make it
No,
as
I
a
mean
footballer.
in the sense that
Steve Bruce,
if they were in that shape that they were in then, Dolly and Daisy, it wouldn't work now because
No.
you have to be the top fit. But then if they played now, they'd be much fitter and they'd be much better.
It's Steve Bruce.
Do you know
who's
what I
a
mean?
professional footballer now. He'd be playing for England. He didn't play for England
Yeah,
then.
that's what I'm saying, because
Just
he's
for the
been-
record, though, Steve Bruce then
was
couldn't
unreal.
get in the England team.
I'm not
plays
criticising
for England
Steve
now.
Bruce and Gary Pallister.
Yeah.
I think they're one of the best parts.
Did you see John Terry doing a? Did you see John Terry doing a? What do they call it? Like start, bench, sell. And one of the players, have you seen it? One of the players was Gary
Pallister.
One of them was Gary Pallister. He spoke about Gary Pallister so highly.
No, he was a very good footballer as well. He was one of those first kind of football playing. But that's not my point. They had like people openly said they weren't fit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They weren't fit
Yeah.
guys. Like Pallister couldn't train. I don't think. He never had knees.
But again, this super chat here, it sort of suggested that the footballers today are better than the footballers then.
No
I'm
way.
saying that
No
Steve Bruce then never got an England cap. Like famously was captain.
I
of
was a bit
Manchester
naive
United.
though, mate. A few years ago, I actually interviewed Robbie Savage, and I said, there's a winger for City. It might have been Leroy Sané. He's as good as Ryan Giggs. I said it to wind up a little bit, but I look back now, I think, fuck me, Ryan Giggs, what a player.
Yeah, of
I
course.
mean, what some of these
He's
players.
so ridiculously just overrated.
Underrated.
I mean, underrated. Sorry, overlooked. I meant to say.
Yeah, I agree.
Overlooked.
And do you know what I think?
I think the systems are harder. I think the systems are harder. I think the managers are better.
I don't want to go into the. I don't know enough about the legal issues, right? But what I do know is, I do know that Ryan Giggs was found not guilty.
Mm.
If he's found not guilty, doesn't that mean that he should be in the Hall of Fame?
He should have been the first one in there.
Yeah.
Really.
What, he's been found not guilty of
He's
everything.
been found not guilty of everything, and they still
don't
won't
know
put
that.
him in the Hall of Fame.
Well, and he had a job. He was the Wales manager.
And he had a job. And he's, yeah.
We got some more super chats. This is from Danny. I mean, in total, from 2000 to 2018, 4 Champions Leagues, second most Champions Leagues against the best 15 to 18. That's confusing me.
No, but
That
Type
is what
it
I mean
again,
winning
send the
in
money
era.
again, type it again with
don't do it.
commas.
Don't do it again. I'm sure some
Semicolons.
people will understand.
no,
it.
hang on. Look, he's talking about the Barcelona team. Do you remember he said in his previous super
So
chat?
between 2000 and 2018, they won 4 Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
Second most Champions Leagues against the best 15 to 18 years. But then in that
That's not
period,
the
you
best
saw
era, though,
Liverpool's Liverpool's worst teams ever win the Champions League.
But also, Liverpool won. So what he just said
In 05.
Barcelona did. No, but what he just said Barcelona did, Liverpool did in the 80s.
Hmm.
Liverpool did exactly that dominance in the 80s.
Mm.
Liverpool
But you
did
only
it
had
in
to play
Paris.
like 5 games to win the Champions League,
But
European Cup.
Liverpool
back
did Paris and London in the way that Barcelona. It's the same.
then.
And also, didn't Real Madrid have demonstrated brilliance like that? Real Madrid did 3
Real
in a
Madrid,
row.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And God knows what they did with Di Stefano and that.
Interesting.
It's a weird time span. He's 25 years is a weird.
Yeah, it's
because
too
in
big.
that 25
It's too
years,
big. Yeah,
you can
yeah,
say
yeah,
5
yeah.
to
Football's
8 years.
changed like 2-3 times in that. Yeah.
Football peaked in 2006. Look at the players that were playing for Italy. You had Totti and all those guys. Cannavaro. Germany had Philip Lahm. England,
It's a
Gerrard,
bad year to
Beckham.
use when Cannavaro
France.
won Ballon d'Or, though.
No, but it's
No, but
not
that's
because he was in his prime. He won
Shouldn't have won ever won
Buffon.
that.
Okay,
No,
not him. Buffon, Nesta, and then for some of the African countries, you had prime Drogba, Yaya Toure,
Sammy Eto'o.
Oh,
Sammy
shit.
Eto'o
Mike
winning-
Wessian for
Sammy-
Ghana, all
Sammy
playing
Eto'o-
at this fucking
Sammy
World
Eto'o
Cup.
scoring in the European Cup final that year.
Easy.
So, yeah.
Check out the score at Villa Park, boys.
Wow, Olympiacos 2-0 down. 2-0 up.
Yeah.
God.
Wow. Yeah, Aston Villa have it all today.
Oh, Matty Cash gone into the box. He's gone down. Leon Bailey's on the ball. That could be a penalty, you know. Matty Cash.
So this is all for nothing. They're going to get smashed by Olympiacos.
Well, it helps. Well, no, it doesn't, does it?
No, it's
I was
over.
going to say it helps the coefficients.
No,
but it
do
doesn't
you
matter.
know what? I would have been desperate for Villa to lose this if it still meant 5th. Could you imagine if Villa was still... Well, if it was still 5th...
Villa were playing for Spurs
Villa would,
to get
no,
Europe.
but Villa could be playing for themselves to get in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Villa could have needed
there
to
was
win
a-
this.
yeah.
Villa could have needed to win this
to win
to
the
finish 5th in the league and get Champions League by opening the door for it themselves.
Villa could end up with 2 European spots, a Europa League and a Champions League spot if they were to win this. A long way back for them now. Simon says, we need a new Pedro at Chelsea with the double foot. Felt like he stepped up in big games. Who do you rate more, him or Palmer? Pedro's in the Pedro that came from Barcelona.
Different
Way
gravy.
too early to compare
Different
him and
gravy.
Cole Palmer, isn't it?
Pedro's unbelievable.
No, but it's way too early to compare the
It's
two.
a different gravy.
You're comparing someone who's just finished his career with someone who's just started.
Someone who scored in the Champions League final against Man United.
Unreal player.
The level. World Cup winner.
He also did it for Spain a lot as well, didn't he?
He won a Euros, World Cup, then a
We were
Euros.
linked with him when... Who did he sign for in the Prem? Chelsea.
Chelsea.
We were linked with him before then. I think when we had Van Gaal.
Moyes.
Van Gaal.
Van
I think
Gaal.
it was Van Gaal era, yeah. We were linked with him.
Very, very, very good player, man. Very good player.
The players are back out at Stamford Bridge. Spurs' players doing that huddle thing when you back out on the pitch.
Weird.
And Chelsea's players have just returned. Reece James there with
I
has he got
saw
a Chelsea cap on?
who?
Reece James. Looked like he had a Chelsea.
Guys, can you keep it down?
Yeah.
Fuck,
What's
you
going on
know.
over there.
I've got a stat for you, mate, about Andy Cole.
Ooh,
He's only found offside 44 times in his entire career.
that's mad at it.
I see a lot of these things on Twitter, so if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but it's something like 44 times in his whole career offside
of
with
his
one penalty goal.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Of his goals, only
Do you know
one
who
was
it was
a
for? The penalty.
Newcastle or Bristol City?
It's Fulham.
Is it for Fulham?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have played in the Prem for Bristol City, would he?
No. He played for Man City, Portsmouth, Fulham, Man
Yeah, he
United,
played for
of
a
course.
lot of teams. He's played for Forest.
He had a little spell, didn't he? He had a little spell. When he left Man United, he just kept bouncing around.
Yeah, but I mean, he left Man United, then went to Blackburn and won the League Cup for them. And that completed his set because he'd won everything but the League Cup at United.
Crazy.
So like he'd completed the set by doing that.
you
And like
think-
he was I think Spurs were the favourites to win it that year. You can correct me if I was wrong. And like
Yeah.
he
yeah.
made he made the
Do you
difference.
think his PR was just because he was quite an understated guy and he was a
No,
bit
you know what
quiet?
it was, yeah.
Was it like a PR
Ben
thing?
Huddle said something as England manager, which kind of stuck as a thing which was never true. But he needs 4 chances to score a goal. That was bullshit from the start. And then because Andy Cole was quite understated and never used to speak much, never used to be very open to the press, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because Andy Cole never used to do all those things, people considered him to be arrogant or boring. And therefore, like, would call him arrogant and things in the press. And then it was kind of a impression that was left, which wasn't true. I mean, there was an interview, I've spoken to him about this as well, where they ask him what he'd rather be called, Andy or Andrew. And he's like, whatever. And they're like, what does your mom call you? And he's like, Andrew. And they were like, all right, well, we'll call you Andrew then. He was like, so then it became a thing in the press, you must call me Andrew. But he never said that.
Yeah, he was just like yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he used to get quite a bad press.
It's interesting, isn't it, how footballers...
Your stat, though, read out what the actual stat is.
You got to zoom in, lads.
Well, I'll read it. I can see it. It was caught offside 24 times in
Wow.
414 Premier League.
That's what I was
games.
thinking then. Yeah. I was thinking something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy though.
It's Liban's tweet, so we'll just give credit to him. But yeah, 24 times in 414 Premier League
Amazing.
games. The only trouble is with some things sometimes. You know when you go on the Premier League website and you go to check stats from back in the day, sometimes they're wrong. And
Yeah.
it says like this guy scored that many goals and then you check him and he's like, actually no, he scored
Yeah.
double that.
But Wikipedia's got issues with that as well, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Wikipedia's got fake information. Transfer Market's the one you really need to go to, I think. But
Remember in uni, people used to use Wikipedia as a source and get bollocked for it. Man. It used to be
yeah, you
funny,
can't
bro.
do that, man. No, Wikipedia. No way.
We'd be on LexisNexis and all that. And
Have you got a Wikipedia page?
Wikipedia. Hope not.
Rory, have you got a Wikipedia
He's got
page?
one, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got his name wrong and that on it.
Yeah, do you see what they did? Somebody on stupid Wikipedia, do you know what they did?
You know, you can go in and change
They
it if you
put
want.
me, they put my middle name. Do you know Expressions, Tottenham? I should get in touch with him. Damn it. I should have
We'll
got in touch.
phone him at the end of the stream.
You know,
Yeah, do a little video for him.
You know Expressions. He calls me Rory Bartholomew Jennings, right? That's what he calls me all the time. And they on Wikipedia, my name is Rory Bartholomew Jennings. Fucking idiot.
Who's that based on? Bartholomew?
Mate,
It's
he
just
just
a
says it
long,
about
posh
he
name,
just
innit?
says
That's
it
how
about
it-
me. He's
Because
basically,
Rory gets this thing where people call him posh and that. But if they saw where Rory was from, they'd be like, fucking hell.
I think when you say you're from London, people don't realise that when you're from outside of London, you think everyone thinks London is like Westminster, don't they?
Yeah.
Or Buckingham Palace.
where everyone
Yeah.
speaks
No,
like
Or
the
like
Queen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dizzy Rascal sings about that in one of his songs. He's like, "Look, it ain't all red buses and post boxes and that.
Most of it, most of it is.
Most of it's horrible. Most of it's fucking horrible. You know.
And there's also a big like, you could go like 100 yards and go from like a real affluent area
mate,
to like a.
It's not even.
An
It's
estate, you know
literally
what I mean?
next door.
Yeah.
Like where I'm, like Abbey Road. So there's a famous estate called Roley Way. People know it as what does everybody? You know it off films. It's called Roley Way Estate. But you know it as. What's it? You know it, Booth. Like it's the kind of thing that you'd like to take pictures of. Alexandra Estate, and
Chelsea.
oh, Mudrick.
What the fuck was that?
And I'm not, right. It's on Abbey Road. So you know Abbey Road is in like Abbey Road Studios, all of that.
Beatles.
St John's with the Beatles, the Crossing. It's all there. Paul McCartney now lives there. It's Lord's Cricket Ground. It's all so affluent, and this estate is there. You know, so if you get a flat in that estate, and it's a glorious estate, you know, in terms of like being like the brutalist architecture of London, nothing represents it better. It's in loads of films. The estate. But it's in one of the most affluent postcodes. But it's so rough, you know. But that's kind of the beauty of London, because I think the alternative is, say, Paris. But in Paris, what you have is you have very posh areas, very rich areas, very affluent areas, and then you have the suburbs. You know, areas like Clichy and that.
Yeah.
So you end up with ghettos because only rich people live here and only poor people live here, rather than London, where everybody kind of lives together and you get Kilburn and Maida Vale next door to each other or whatever, which is quite good, I think.
Yeah.
Although then the downside of that is
Not
like,
foul. Fuck off.
prices and things are far too high for people if you live in an area where you know can't go to the gym down there because
No, you can't.
that's a gym where man's are spending
Also,
£400 a month. You know what I mean?
Also, you literally can't live where you grew up.
Have you done the photo on that Abbey Road?
literally
Have you guys done
I've
the photo?
I've done it when I was a kid. I got one with my mum when I was a kid.
I'd take
Yeah.
the one through platform 9 3/4, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not a complete idiot.
Are you joking? Oh yeah,
I
she
am
has done it as
joking,
well.
you
No, but you have done the Harry Potter.
We should do the Beatles one. We should do the Beatles one. Us three. You'd have to walk at the back barefoot though.
How many were in the Beatles? There's four in the.
We need to borrow
four.
Flav. Borrow Flav. Get Flav to walk barefoot at the back.
I was thinking someone else could be in the Beatles with us, but maybe
Who
not.
else?
I don't know if he'd accept my DM anymore.
Who?
But,
You've been DMing.
just to be at the back of the four of us.
Who's
Who?
new?
So we're doing that, and then just someone we used to work with. I think it'd be fun to get,
Who?
bring the Beatles back.
Yoko Ono.
Oh God, have you seen the clip of her singing on a show with? Oh God,
Sounds like a cat.
oh, and this guy's being really polite. He's a very famous singer. I should fucking remember his name, but I'm so bad with names. But his famous singer's looking at her, and he's going, "Fucking hell," like that.
Yeah.
You can see him on black
I
and white
always
TV.
loved that.
She's like wailing.
I always love the world. Is it Feed the World tune? And someone's singing in there. Michael
Feed the
Jackson
World?
stood there like,
Yeah. The band. Go on. Yeah, the Band-Aid.
Oh, Palmer. That was Palmer.
Yeah.
Just killing this tune, man.
I've met him once. He's the weirdest
Michael
guy.
Jackson?
No, I met Band-Aid guy. What's his name?
Bono. Bob Geldof.
Bob Geldof. I've met him. Yeah, Bob Geldof.
Yeah, you was on a boat with him or something like that, weren't you?
You're swearing at Brexit people.
I was at the Brexit. I was at the Brexit thing with him. Yeah, I was right next to him on stage with my camera, and there's 80,000 people one day after Brexit. I don't know how I snuck in. I don't know how I did it. Honestly. Oh, Palmer. We didn't talk about that Palmer chance. Palmer on his left foot.
Really wanting to score as well. Really want Palmer to get the golden boot.
He's not been playing well today.
He's got to. Oh, he's just got to flip that. He's caught too much of it, hasn't he, Richarlison?
He's a donkey, isn't he? Really is.
Do you remember when people were talking about him? He found it. He's back.
Cart horse.
It might have been offside.
Oh, shit.
So it was square. Ball to the back post.
Do you know what's annoying? We've been so much better than Tottenham. Like, we have battered them. And yet it's kind of last-ditch defending that's keeping us in the game.
Poor defending as well.
Yeah, but it's all last-ditch. Like, you know that Chalobah block.
Free header to head it out the box.
Yeah, and
he just flicked it out the throw.
But you know that block that we had at the end of the first half, Chalobah, decisive in both boxes, isn't it? Scores the goal and then that block. But we shouldn't be inviting this pressure on. We really shouldn't, because Tottenham's so vulnerable.
Don't nick a draw.
I don't think they will. I think we'll score again. I think we'll beat them now.
I want a few goals, man.
Yeah, come on, lads.
1-0's fine.
If you're going to be shit, at least be fun. It's like Sheffield United. They've been shit and boring.
Yeah.
They're going to concede 100 goals this season, you know that. I think they should get banned for a season. They should get banned.
From football?
From getting back into the Premier League.
From football?
No, be in the Championship.
Now, if they get promoted, it don't count.
Yeah.
I think docked 20 points at the start of the Championship season for them, just so they don't get up.
Gilchrist is literally one of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
For our team.
Yeah. Have you seen the goal that he scored? Have you seen his celebration when he scored? He didn't know what to do. He basically just like jumped head first into the fans, which is exactly what I would do. Yeah.
Oh, he's offside. He's gonna fly in a minute.
I'm getting dumber watching this game, man. Honest to God.
Is that someone with a T-shirt on?
Yeah. They did a remix, didn't they, recently of Band-Aid? They did like a modern version.
Yeah. They do one every 10 years, isn't it? Is it 10 years?
I don't know. What officially?
The one in 2000s had Amy Winehouse, Chris Martin, had 2006, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dizzy Rascals.
Dizzy Rascals.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm sure Dizzy Rascals was in it.
You ain't got to feel good, just selfless. Give a little help to the helpless.
Didn't he do an England song as well? Dizzy.
Did he?
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Dizzy Rascal. Am I making things up?
Yeah, Majestic did an England song.
Yeah, with Steve Adam Man.
Everyone's done an England song. It's just, is it the England song? That's the debate.
Should we do a Christmas song?
Nah.
Does it do well when you do it?
Did it last year.
Did it do well? No, but we could do an England song for the Euros.
Yeah, he did it with James Corden, the twat.
Oh no. That's why I haven't heard it. I would never.
I can't stand James.
No, he's the worst man in the world.
If anyone sees James Corden on Raw.
No, he's the worst. He's the worst. He's the worst man in the world.
Did you know about it pre all the releases on Twitter?
Mate,
there's a great thread about him on Reddit.
Mate,
there's a great thread about him on Reddit.
But did Rory know pre that thread?
League of Their Own was very much like the kind of show that I worked on. So the people that would work with me, my comedy entertainment world.
I forgot he was on that. Yeah, years ago. Yeah.
I reckon as well. You know, everyone on that League of Their Own, like you get Ramesh and Freddie Flint. I reckon they all hate him as well.
Do you think? Yeah.
And they're just there because their wage is bigger now.
Villa scored. Ollie
Watkins has got a goal back for Villa just before the break. You see that goal?
Yeah, I saw it. It's a great goal. Yeah, lovely move. First time finish. Really good goal. He's on fire, isn't he, Ollie Watkins?
What do you think of Olympiakos' shirt? It's like a camouflage kind of.
Where?
Orange and.
Where?
Can't see him now. Oh, there's your boy.
Like Prince William.
Who is it?
Prince William, giving it loads.
Is he an actual Villa fan? Yeah,
he must be, isn't
it? An actual Villa fan.
Yeah, but he's there. Like, he wouldn't be there if he was. He doesn't have.
But I always wondered if it's like, you know, when David Cameron said he was a. Didn't he say he was a?
He is a Villa fan as well.
Is it Villa as well?
He's a Villa fan.
He would have been at like every cup final as a kid.
What's Tony Blair?
And maybe just liked.
I saw. Do you know what was in the Times today? I'm not even joking. Do you know what was like one of the main headlines in the? I had no idea if it's true or not. I didn't read the article. Keir Starmer, an interview going, "I'm the reason Declan Rice signed for Arsenal."
Oh,
that was the actual.
Oh my God.
I don't even know if it's true. That was. I swear to you, that is the headline in the Times today.
Someone asked me a question. I think it was a couple of days ago.
He's always lying, ain't he? The fraud.
Unless he did do it. I didn't
Liar,
read
man.
the
He never-
article.
come on, man. He's
Did
a
anyone read the
liar.
article? Did Keir Starmer broker the
Yeah,
deal?
he did an interview with Robbie and then he suddenly was Declan Rice fan.
But someone asked me a question: who's more likely to win the general election, Labour or Tories, or City or Arsenal? And he couldn't give a straight answer. So it's really
Wait,
weird.
what?
Someone asked him a question on a video a couple of days ago,
Arsenal
and it was like, who's more likely to win who's more likely to win, Labour or Arsenal, basically,
Right.
in their competitions?
I mean,
he
Labour
ain't
have
winning
put it in the
nothing, is
bag. Labour have won.
Nah.
They have.
A lot of
talk
old
about-
Labour won't vote
Mate,
for him
I
anymore.
saw it. As,
It's the wrong
I saw
show
it-
for this conversation.
Yeah. I
but
saw it as 1 to 100.
Nah,
It's never
I'll
gonna
never
be
vote
that.
again.
I saw it.
used
It's
to
going to be
always
far more
vote.
marginal than. It's not going to be a
Mate,
landslide. like they're
that's
saying.
what they were saying. That's
Yeah,
what
but-
that's what they're saying. They're saying it's like
A lot of
we-
traditional
people said-
Labour though, like me, that would
record
has grown up like always vote. Will just say, nah, I'm not voting for you anymore.
I mean, I don't want him to win, but
It's a fraud,
Mm.
massive fraud.
But I
I've had
thought-
someone
I
stab
thought
me
it
in
was
my
in the
front
bag.
and my back.
I,
You know what I mean?
I'm going to get that tattooed. That's
Yeah.
that's inspiration.
Stab me in my front,
Adam
my back,
McKola.
bruh. Like, Bojo and them man would tell me they hate me to my face.
Would they?
Keir Starmer pretends to be there good for me. Oh, well, great touch by Kulusevski. You know.
I saw
Bings.
Do you know?
Bings on the back.
You know, in my gym, I saw a fellow with a very intimidating tattoo. He's playing. He was annoying me, right? He wasn't abiding by gym etiquette. Guess what I saw him doing? He's getting dressed, and his shoes that he's wearing out on the street, with the towels that he's dried himself with, he polishes his shoes with the towel. And I just thought that is the worst thing I've ever. You'd never do that at home, would you? You'd never clean your shoes
with a
with the
towel.
towel that
public
you've just cleaned
gym-
your body with.
no.
Yeah.
So in my gym, you get towels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but if it's the last thing,
Yeah, it's
like,
the
you're
last
going to
thing-
bin the towel.
Yeah, you're gonna.
I don't
put
mind
the,
doing that.
You're gonna put the towel in the bin
Yeah,
that will get
towel bin,
washed and
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, but you wouldn't clean your shoes with it.
But it's not your towel, is it?
Oh,
I think it's about the idea of a
in
towel.
my idea, in my head,
I don't do that.
In
but I'm
my
just
idea,
saying,
in my head, I wouldn't dream of cleaning my shoes with something.
What, is it the bottom of the shoe, or is it like a little bit of the,
no,
the
like
feature?
polishing
Yeah.
the shoes.
If it's the bottom of the shoe, that's messy. If
Towels
he's taking
make it
mud
clean.
off with it, that's weird. If
Towels
he's
make it clean.
if it's a nice shoe, and I think it's okay.
yeah, it's not.
Oh right, I'm
If he's
surprised.
taking
shit
Mate,
off
mate,
the
I've
shoe,
got it.
if
I've
he's
got it
taking shit
completely.
off the shoe.
When I saw,
I wouldn't
the
do it with
fellow-
my home towels.
Yeah, but that's do you not provide?
They're
Surely,
sacred.
you extend the same courtesy to the towels in the gym as you do the.
But the
towels at
idea
your
is
home.
they're getting boil wash, aren't they, for the next person? That's what I think his idea is probably in his head.
Right. Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Not that it's right, mate.
Yeah, I thought when I saw him do it, I was just like, that's fucking.
But what's wrong with his tattoo?
Anyway, I was like, I'm gonna have to say something to him because this is so out of order. And he had a tattoo, right? And I saw it just at the right time. It said, "Only God will judge me," and I was like, oh, "Fuck that! Do what you want with a towel."
Tupac. All right, Tupac. It was like Tupac, yeah.
Yeah, I was like-
Reincarnated
I
in
was like,
Kilburn or whatever.
I ain't saying a word to him. He's got no.
But
fear.
what?
I hate the
out of
fellas that
interest-
rock around with just barefoot, man. How are you doing it?
That's
Barefoot.
weird, yeah, that's weird.
You'll be in a steam room. Someone will rock
So what were you going to say?
barefoot.
I'm just interested in the
How do you
interaction.
I was gonna say,
Can you pretend Adam's doing it now? He's
Yeah.
a random
so
guy.
if I felt like the bloke
His
was,
back's turned to you. His back's turned to you. He's scrubbing his thing.
I'd go, "Excuse me, I think that's incredibly disrespectful. Would you do that with the towel at your house?"
stands up like
And he
this.
stands up and I go, "Do what you like with the towel, mate. I couldn't care less. Literally couldn't care less."
You know when Simba's running in the thing and and you see the shadow just come over him. That's like you.
Chelsea.
Oh. Yeah,
It's
no,
a big shadow
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
over
yeah, yeah.
Rory.
no, I'd go literally do what you want, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about tattoos. I'm gonna get an intimidating one soon. I think I was thinking of getting a bulldog.
Face tattoo.
Getting a bulldog on my.
What, with like
on
a
my
Union
chest.
Jack emblazoned
Yeah,
into
bulldog.
it.
No, but where was the bulldog? I knew someone had a bulldog there on it. I think it was, but a big bulldog there. I think it was, or tiger. What was it? Tiger.
Oh, I know what you mean.
What was it? A bulldog.
It's a
or
lion,
tiger?
I think.
A lion.
Yeah.
That's it. Lion.
No,
Lion art.
I would never. Do you know?
Why am I
what?
thinking of Wayne Rooney?
I was on the. I was on
He's got that Celtic cross there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne Rooney has.
No, I think it's ridiculous.
Would you
I
get
really-
Would you get a tattoo? And it says Buvey on your back,
No.
but you win back-to-back Champions Leagues, and you get to go
No.
as VIP to watch Chelsea,
No.
and you get to put the ball on the centre
Booted.
circle.
And you're not having you emblazoned
You
on
get
my
to put
body
the ball on
for
the,
eternity.
You get to carry the ball.
No, I'm not
you
having-
and Frank Lampard.
Oh wait, if Frank's involved, can I get the tattoo covered up?
No,
As that has to be there.
No.
I can't have you.
It's on your back,
Your
though, so you can
face.
hide it with a shirt.
Your face emblazoned on me forever.
no, it's just the text. Buvey.
No, I don't want your name on me. It's even worse.
Spurs in the box. Cross. Good save
They've
by
been shit
Petrovic.
today, haven't they?
Yeah, but we're
got 30 minutes,
making
though.
hard work of it here.
And they've got such, considering the players they've got out and the team they've fielded, they're in a much stronger position than Chelsea at the minute.
Do you know I nearly saw on that etiquette thing? I nearly saw quite a big fight at Highbury and Islington Station because somebody asked somebody else to not play music out loud on their phone. And it nearly went. And at the time, right, I was backing the person who was asking the person not to play music. And then the geezer went like a psycho. And I kind of went, I can't believe he asked you, man. I was like, turn it up. Yeah, that was a great song, man. Yeah, you got a Spotify playlist? I'll sign up. That was fantastic. Yeah, he went like a fucking banshee. At first, I was like, yeah, I can't believe that.
You've got to be careful because, one thing and then people like that filming and stuff like that.
No, I certainly wouldn't have said it. But the guy that asked, my body language suggested I was on his side. And then the guy reacted really badly. And I was like, God, that guy asking you, bang out of order, man. Yeah, I was feeling that rhythm.
Yeah. You're a strategic genius, you are.
Two Bob. The old B-Tech Jack Grealish coming on here.
James Maddison.
You've done a video on your channel saying he has to start for England. You have somewhere on your channel.
He's done that.
No, I've never done it with Madison.
I'm sure.
No. I would have never because I've always said Grealish, and there's no room for Grealish.
To YouTube.
But there's no room for Grealish in the team. Also, listen, do you know what? That video doesn't exist. But if that video did exist, there would have been a time where he could. Football opinions can change.
No, of course he can. Yeah, of course.
This is the thing. But when people go, you didn't say that in 2017 when he was shit.
Yeah, but I think this season he has been good. But it's a debate if he gets on the plane now.
He doesn't.
10 months ago, there's a video.
I think he gets on the plane.
No, he definitely doesn't.
No,
he gets on the plane.
No. What am I slating?
That was in your favour, yeah.
Oh, look, he didn't read that one out. He found a video of me with Madison.
Look, it says Rory James backs James Maddison, and then I opened it and it said to reject Spurs. So that didn't quite happen either.
I think the trajectory point about him is interesting.
I think
Championship football for a large part. Relegated with Leicester City. He couldn't get them out of relegation battle.
Anthony Gordon would be ahead of James Maddison in terms of getting on the plane.
The position.
No, it's not. It's the same position. It's a forward. There's only
Madison's
so many
a midfielder.
There's only so many. No, there's no room in that.
6 forwards and what is there? 10 midfielders.
James Maddison isn't competing with other midfielders though because there's no room. There's no.
Yes, he doesn't get in then.
He can only get in the spot that we're suggesting goes to Anthony Gordon or the spot that's suggesting goes to Cole Palmer.
There's a video I'm watching here.
Why are you watching?
It's called "I'm Worried About Tottenham," and you spend a long portion of it discussing his stats and how great he is.
Yeah, they were
and only
unbeaten
De
for the first
Bruyne
10
is
games.
better than him, and things like that. Though.
Yeah, you had a good 10 games.
So he's better than De Bruyne.
No, of course.
He said that.
No, of course.
Well, what did you just say?
I don't know. No, he said that you've compared the stats to De Bruyne in the first 10 games of the season.
No, you went back to 2018. Right there is what you're saying.
Well, I'm talking about Madison in 18. I was a visionary.
Premier League footballer.
I was a visionary.
Premier League footballer back then as well. It wasn't as GCSEs predicted him.
No, I was a visionary. I said he's going to go in 2024 World Euros. In 18, I said, watch this boy Madison go to the Euro.
Have you ever seen those 4-4-2 predicted lineups from like 2002? And it's like, what the 2016?
Mate, none of them.
The one from this Euros that was done in 2010 is incredibly interesting. Mate, incredible.
Mate,
I've got to think of players who are
Mate, there was one that I saw where David Bentley was still in it. David Bentley was
Ryan
still...
Bertrand was in it.
Yeah,
David Bentley was still playing for England.
I think it was just after Chelsea won the Champions League, and they did it for like 2024 or something.
Right back for
2020.
There was a
Jack
Liverpool.
Wilshere's
What was the Liverpool player? Was it Spearing?
Jay Spearing.
Everyone said he was going to be like
the right back. Still playing for Southampton now. The right back.
Yeah, Nathan Klein. Nathaniel Klein.
He's one of them that's kind of.
I remember doing that with with Manchester United players in the academy and stuff. Like I remember
Kyle Walker-Peters,
David Jones, for example.
Yeah.
None of you know his name right now.
Yeah.
Played for Wolves.
And about 15 years ago, he played for
Skinhead for Wolves.
He might have played. Yeah, he went to Wolves after a bit. But he was at Man United in our academy, massively highly rated, and he was like, "This guy is going to be the next midfield stalwart."
Was he left-footed?
Never happened. I think so.
It's a ridiculous thing to ask. Yeah.
We had a player called Charlie Colkett, who was again supposed to be. I think the sort of player that is now Cole Palmer. This Charlie Colkett, everybody spoke about him. He was the one. Just nothing. I don't. A few years ago,
as well, there'll be videos of me saying James Garner will be in Man United's midfield in a few years.
Yeah.
Josh
you know
McEachran.
Michael Johnson.
Josh McEachran was on 40 grand a week.
Oh, what was that other fella that played for Liverpool? Scored a big goal for them.
Neil Mellor.
Remember, what was that goal he scored? Was it
Scored against Arsenal.
Yeah,
and then he
1-0.
scored. And then he scored in the semi-final of the League Cup against Sheffield United as well to get Liverpool to the final.
David Jones scored 3 kicks for Wolves. The player would pass it off to him. He'd chip it up and volley it. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Is that the same David Jones?
Yeah.
You know who else? You'd probably see.
Foul.
I remember Darren Gibson for Man United. Remember, he was a video of him being drunk for Sunderland, just talking crap about the whole board. He scored in a semi-final of a Champions League against Schalke.
Wow.
He scored a goal against Wolves or Hull, I think, from like 40. Like, he had a ping on him,
Yeah. Huddleston.
And like, I'd imagine after coming out of that semi-final, it'd be like, this is the start of Darren Gibson being fucking Roy Keane or something. And it's like, never the way.
But the thing
It's all about mindset, man. All about mindset.
it's a lot about that.
Conquer your emotions and all that. Michael Johnson, one of the best players I've ever seen at City. He's now an estate agent.
I don't even know what.
It's like Robbie Fowler.
I don't even know what Charlie Colkin
He
is.
just went into property, bought loads up.
Yeah,
I think he's at the bottom of the ladder, though. I think he's just an estate agent. Michael Johnson literally just became an estate agent.
Students
He hasn't got honestly.
He's wearing a Burton suit. He's wearing a Burton suit, taking students around digs in Liverpool.
He was
down the
so
Smith
good.
Down Road.
He was
Johnny
so good.
says, "What do you think of the rumours of Grealish to Chelsea?" Well, I've first heard of him.
No, I've heard of it. I think he's a brilliant player. I really do. I think he's an excellent player. I'd love him at Chelsea. The reason why it doesn't happen is partly Chelsea have this policy, which apparently we're scrapping about the kids signing youngsters. But the other reason why it doesn't happen is, what on earth is in it for Jack Grealish? Like, do you not think Jack Grealish would be looking at what's happened to Raheem Sterling since he came to Chelsea?
Could he want to live in London?
Yeah, it's a lifestyle thing. He's a Spurs. Oh,
Well, Johnson hasn't quite passed that and hasn't quite shot
it's
that.
a half shilling and a half.
It's not worked for
Half and half.
Johnson, has it?
It's a half and half loaf.
He's got to do better there. Am I being too harsh?
No, you're right. He's either got to drill it into the bottom corner or play it into Royale's path, isn't it?
Well, just do something, man.
No, I think he's got to drill it into the bottom corner and score, or lay it off to lovely touch
Might have
from
been ruled
Maddison.
out for offside
I
anyway.
don't think so.
So look, the ball here.
Yeah,
That's not a bad ball.
Actually,
you got
I
to be
think
the keeper.
Emerson Royale needs to do more.
Got to be the keeper.
Actually, wasn't
maybe
a bad
we're being harsh.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, it was offside.
This is a Mad Max advert. Is Mad Max?
Yeah, the first one was amazing. Have you watched the first
When you
one?
say first one, you mean old one?
The first one
Isn't
of
it
the
Mel
new
Gibson?
remake.
Oh no, I didn't even know there was a new.
The one with Tom Hardy. Oh my.
So is there just no new films now and they're all just remakes?
There is a lot of that.
There's a great comment about
But
it.
I think it's because people can't take risks anymore.
Yeah.
So you almost have to.
No.
That's
Yes,
fine.
what a tackle, Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking boy.
Like, you do something you know that works.
Yeah, it's about capitalism
No,
and
it's-
the ability to not take risks in a late stage capitalism
It's
era.
exactly the same. It's exactly the same with regard to like actors. It's so difficult now to get a chance because studios don't want to take any risks. So they go, okay, or even a TV drama. They go, okay, right, we've got a leading lady, for example. And they go, okay, well, is Keely Hawes available? And you go, well, no, she's not available until December. Go, okay, do you want to try and cast someone else? They go, no, we'll just wait till December, get Keely to do it. You know, it's like, because you know that she's a household name, people like her, she will deliver. So there's no risks. It's very difficult.
It's easier to make something of yourself these days, but it's harder to become. Like, there's a lot of industries that are just established. And that's it. But you can make yourself like.
It's never been
like
harder.
we're proof of that.
But
you know
our
what I mean?
society makes sure that you don't take risks for economic reasons. There's an economist called Mark Fisher who predicted all of this like 20 years ago. It's how Star Wars can't create new stories, so it just keeps reinventing the same narrative of Star Wars. And the original Star Wars was about 50 different genres all brought together. It was about samurais, it was about science fiction, it was about cowboys a little bit, and what's the next one? It's about Star Wars itself. It's not new.
Why is it beneficial to capital? Like, this is quite interesting.
If you try-
Why
if you
is it?
take
Why
risks,
does
you can
capitalism not
damage
want
the-
risks?
I don't know enough about it, but it's the sense of like risk.
Because isn't the
more
essence of
chance.
capitalism risk taking? Isn't that what it is? Isn't the starter like Amazon being the perfect capitalist example was a risk?
It's a bit like how modern architecture of new builds and stuff like that is everything's becoming to look the same and looking very minimal and
Yeah, I
And-
hate
and blank.
modern architecture.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, what a bad touch!
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
it's absolutely gone through him there.
Filth Kulusevski, isn't he? He's nowhere near as good as everyone likes to
No,
make out.
bang average, man. Bang average.
I don't think he's average.
He
man.
is average.
Bang average.
He is.
He's
I
not
think you're-
world class.
I think you're pushing back on people saying he's good to then go too far.
He's not one of
He's
the
not
best in the
bang
league.
average.
He's average in the league.
I think he's
top 10 in the league.
He's playing for the right club, though. Like, he's about where he should be, innit? 4th, 5th. A lot of people didn't like your Mark Fisher choice.
Come back. I love football.
You've tuned into The
Cole
Economist.
Palmer's about to score. Yeah.
The rest is politics.
Yeah.
Joking, obviously.
You seen he started a new one? He started the rest is US politics.
No.
Really? Would you go on that?
No.
I have nothing to say. I've no knowledge.
Palmer, shot.
Oh! Palmer hits the bar. It's back in. What a free kick
Palmer's
to get the
gutted,
goal.
didn't he? Look, you see his face. He really wanted the goal because of the golden boot.
Caicedo, big
what
goal
a hit
for him.
from Cole
Is it
Palmer.
Caicedo? Oh no, it's Jackson. Is
No,
it
Jackson. What a hit from Cole Palmer.
He hated that Jackson scored that, didn't he?
Yeah, he hated it. I think he actually hated it.
Wouldn't that worry you about him, though?
No,
You
because
don't hate your
he's chasing.
teammates scoring.
No, he's not. He's celebrating with him. He's not. It's only. It was just like a mild look, wasn't it? He wanted his free kick to go in.
What
Fantastic.
a free kick.
What a free kick.
Has he changed his hair?
Yeah, he's had a haircut. He had a blue streak in it, innit?
You take the colour out when you're doing shit. You can't afford to have luxuries like that.
Oh, he's so unlucky. Good header.
It's a very good. You know, it's a really good header because he's jumped
both
very
go for the
early.
ball.
Both defenders do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
They're blocking each other as well.
They both do the wrong thing.
It's a calamity of errors,
It's a
some would
great
say.
header.
It's a comedy of errors.
Yeah,
some would say.
It's a it's a calamity.
Yeah, others would say it's comedy of errors.
Yeah. So look.
Who,
Look at the defenders here. These guys are idiots. He blocks Son off.
He
That's a
pushes
great
Son
header,
off.
yeah.
I think Højbjerg gets that. Look, Son and Højbjerg like getting each other's way.
He pushes Son.
Yeah.
These guys.
Højbjerg gets that.
They both.
Højbjerg should have booted
flounder.
him. He should have just booted him,
Yeah.
Teach him to get him away. Here you go, have that, twat.
Are the 300 come back now?
That's fantastic.
Joe.
Mate, we are just so much better than
Are
Tottenham,
we
aren't we?
300 up now?
We are. We are just better than Tottenham.
Say yes.
Like, there's just no two
Type
ways
yes.
about it. We are.
Oh,
Just-
100 more, lads.
watch
come
out, watch
back.
out, watch
come
out.
back, lads.
Spurs are back in, Brennan Johnson,
he's
Mr.
shit.
Sitter.
He is shit, man. Like the stream, please. We want the 100 people back.
Like
Maybe
the
they went
streak.
off to buy the book
Buvey,
I'm
see if
talking
you can
about.
get 100 likes. Just
Okay.
cut to Buvey. Don't come off him until we get 100 likes. Buvey, it's over to you until we get the 100.
I think that's pushing them away.
No. Buvey, go.
Don't just stare at him. Talk
You
to
got to
him.
do
No,
something.
I'm telling them with telepathy.
No, you can't do that. You can't just look down the lens. You
Guys,
have to-
please like the stream. It'd make my day. I've lost 300 people for the club, okay? It's my responsibility to get them back, okay? Like the stream. Are we back up?
No.
10 off.
10
Come
off.
on, lads. I think they all went onto Amazon to get the book I was talking about. That's what I think. That's not an issue. It's a great book.
Connor says top off booth.
No, not for the 300 because they all fucked off. Yeah. They were fickle.
Who's this fella coming on?
Cesare.
He's been getting
Kevin
minutes.
Cesare.
Cassidy. He was at
Right,
Reading
Kev
for a
coming
bit.
on.
He comes on a lot. He does come on a lot.
Shout out, Kev.
But no, we're
Probably watching.
He's been scoring a few, Jackson, now.
It may-
He
he's-
up to 14. No,
I mean, it's
13.
very misleading though. His goal
I know,
scoring,
I know.
his
The
goal
quality of them
scoring,
are poor,
his
but-
goal scoring record. Did you see that? I think Alfie, Gilchrist has just booted. I don't even think the refs called it. Is the fella injured? I think he's just like really booted.
Oh, man. Check that contrast out. Jules Breach stood by Peter Crouch.
Yeah,
And Alan Hutton.
yeah. Look how small Jules.
It's like Houston next to be a movie. How far
She's
away
got the
is
most
she?
ball knowledge out of all three of them. That's for sure. Alan Hutton.
Is that Alan Hutton there?
You
No.
know. He wasn't a bad player on his day for Spurs,
He
was
had
he?
a bad time of it.
He went to
He had a
Espanyol?
bad time of it at Villa.
He went to Spain on loan.
Villa. He did. He was good for Rangers.
Where
I
did he
think.
play at Spain? Was it? I don't know. Might have been Espanyol. It wasn't
We've got
Espanyol.
a few people asking Rory if you could ring expressions.
I can't. He'll be live on his own thing.
Yeah, he'd be good for
He'd
his
actually
content,
pick up,
good
you
for
know.
our content.
He'd pick up.
Do you know why I can't do it as well? Because I'll do something stupid. I'll put the number up or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't turn your phone.
No, I'm not risking it. Do you remember when I did that?
Someone did it to me. Gaz posted like a text I'd sent him, and he just left my number in there. In fact, you know, the funny thing is, I've never changed my number since. So there's probably like 10 people that saw it that got it. But yeah, I remember thinking, you absolute dick.
You might be getting wiretapped. You don't know.
I phoned Elliot on the stream, right, and it went, he didn't answer. And it went, it's gone to a voicemail. And I was like, oh, right, we'll just leave him a message. And I carried on chatting, and it went, number 078 6. And it's just playing. And then it went beep, and I went, oh.
What stream was that on?
I remember that. It was on one of his own.
In my own.
Oh, your own stream?
Yeah. Right, come on.
I want
He's
Chelsea
such
to
a
win 4-0
melt, isn't
now.
he, son? He's such a melt.
Yeah.
Mate,
He's a big melt.
we are
isn't he?
just better than them, aren't we?
Spurs are a
Wait, what
melt.
a couple of days for Tottenham. They got slapped by Arsenal and Chelsea in consecutive games. Brilliant, isn't it?
Conceded 5 in both games, then 4 the previous weeks in Newcastle. It's 9 goals in 3 games.
Mate.
That's averaging 3 a game.
Also, look at their fixtures prior to the Newcastle one as well. It's more. I reckon they've conceded 20 in 6.
Yeah. Romero's been fit. They got rid of Dyer, who's been the best defender out of all of them, and he's on loan at Bayern Munich. He was the best defender on the pitch, by the way.
He's going to
Real
the
Madrid.
Euros, you know.
He has to start.
He's going to the
I've been
Euros.
saying it for years.
Someone says ring Flav, but don't mention the football.
He's in Amsterdam. Also, I phoned him once on
Amsterdam ain't
stream.
nice
Do you know
place,
Flav has never been angry with anyone in his life? I did it to him last
We're
time,
here.
and he got really annoyed.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not doing
That's
it to
why
him
we need
again.
to do it.
Yeah, no, I can't do it to him again. It's the only time that Flav has ever actually got angry with me.
Spurs have Liverpool at the weekend, and we will be live for that one.
I can't do
Bastard.
Tottenham again.
We keep doing Spurs games.
Is it?
It's funny though when they
Is
lose.
it? Where is it? Is it
Anfield.
Anfield?
Yeah.
That's good.
The reverse leg was that crazy decision.
Yeah.
VAR, Luis
Yeah,
Diaz.
Luis Diaz. This is the first time they've been
Can you
beaten all
remind me on
season.
that one?
Yeah, with the VAR goal that VAR knew was a goal,
Yes.
and it was the first time Liverpool
Well
got
done,
beat.
lads.
Yeah.
All clear.
Yeah,
Carry on.
yeah.
It's
That's
the
one
worst.
of my favourite screenshots ever.
Oh,
the worst
it's,
decision.
Good
you got
process,
Gibbs brothers
boys.
on.
It's the 4th
How deep
Beatle.
is
It's the
your
5th Beatle.
love?
Your love, how deep is... His initials are BG as well.
Yeah, see?
So
yeah.
Right.
BG?
Yeah.
He's
Not Billie
shit, isn't he?
Jean.
Billie
No.
Jean.
Yeah, call him Billie Jean.
He is rubbish, isn't he?
Second half has been delayed in
They
the
don't
Villa
have signed
game.
some dross, don't they, Spurs?
Yeah,
Fuck
they always have.
me.
They always have.
You know, people slagged off City for going for Rubinho, yeah? And it was fun. We went for John
No,
Terry,
he
we
was
went
a
for
good player,
Kaká.
yeah.
At least there was a bit of ambition there, whether that was classy or not.
Yeah, you did go for Terry because Terry...
Badly for Terry.
Chelsea
Before he
went-
signed, he said I had sleepless nights
yeah.
in it, and Chelsea fans went mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chelsea went for Shevchenko and Crespo.
What a
Whatever,
touch.
even if they were good signings or not. But Spurs have had money for years.
Yeah. No, do you remember? Do you
Kirikes.
remember when they signed? Do you remember when they broke their transfer?
Fuck
They
me.
broke their
Pavlyuchenko.
transfer record twice in the same summer. They signed
It was when they sold
Lo Celso
Bale.
And Ndombele.
and Ndombele and Lo Celso.
I like Ndombele. I thought that was a good move. But then that has to be
it
coupled up
wasn't,
with
was it?
fucking...
But it wasn't
not
good.
Ryan Sessegnon.
Yeah.
Fuck me,
But it
man.
wasn't a good move either.
But at the time, he absolutely smashed Man City in the Champions League for
Remember
Lyon.
the 7 players
He was a
they
very
signed
exciting player.
after they sold
Yeah.
thingy.
Soldado and them, wasn't it?
Soldado, Ericsson,
Was Eric
Kirikes.
Yeah.
Lamella,
Lamella,
Paulinho.
Do you remember that goal?
Paulinho.
Mate, do you remember the goal that Lamella scored against Arsenal? I think they got beat that day. But he scored a little
flick.
Rabona. It was like a snooker shot.
Out of
Did a
this
Rabona into the far post.
this
It
ball.
was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Do you want to play a little Paulinho? How much did I sign him for?
30 million.
17 million from Corinthians.
Where he went?
At
where
the
did
time,
he
he
go
was
from there,
compared
though?
to
He
Frank
went,
Lampard.
He went somewhere brilliant.
PSG?
Yeah,
No,
he went back-
Barcelona.
No, he went to China.
And then he ended up at Al
Barcelona brought him
Ahly.
to Barcelona.
Yeah.
He went
Al
to China and
Ahly.
they still brought him back.
Christian Eriksen, how much did I buy him for?
22.
Less.
Half it.
Less, yeah.
Really?
11 million.
Yeah.
Great signing, that one.
Eriksen.
Bargain. Then you look at Soldado.
Yeah, he would have been dear.
The big
35.
money one.
Yeah, 30.
Just a bit under.
30
26
flat.
million.
You got to round up for these.
It would have been 30 million.
What are we doing? Is the
euros.
decimal marker? What are we doing? Is
Nasser
the penny?
Chadli.
Chadley, mate.
He wasn't bad.
He ended up at West Brom, didn't he?
Yeah, West Brom got relegated with West Brom.
And that's
7 million
even
from
kept-
FC Twente. Etienne Capoue,
Oh, he was
He
good. He
wasn't
ended up
bad.
at Watford, didn't he?
Yeah, he was-
Etienne
yeah.
Capoue?
9.3 million.
Yeah, what a waste of
So
money.
there was a super chat, and therefore, Buvey, what are we going to do?
We're going to read it out, lads.
Was mate,
Why would you put that on, Jack?
Jack.
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 Jack. Did you send that in as well, Jack? So, Buvey, we apologise for Jack.
What for?
For Jack. We apologise.
I feel sorry for everyone that was born in Chernobyl. You know, legitimately.
That's a good strategy. Actually, like take the moral high ground.
No, I just-
If you want to joke about Chernobyl, that's on you.
Yeah.
It's on your conscience.
Give it-
2 quid it costs for Jack to
Was it only
absolutely-
£2 as
And
well?
You know, 2 quid is what Jack will
Jack.
charge
I've always been supportive
to
of Jack. as well.
humiliate you
That's the thing.
online.
I've never called him ginger or nothing. Have I?
Just
I'm
did.
never the one calling him Ginger, am I?
But Ginger's
twice
not
that.
not an insult.
Yeah, but I don't care either way. I don't call him Ginger. And he's say I'm from Chernobyl. But to be fair, you know the cloud from Chernobyl, there were particles that went in the air and it affected a sheep in Wales. I swear on my life. Am I lying? You know this, Boris, don't you?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. It's called Mandy or something. It's like a sheep called Mandy or something.
It became.
You're fucking taking, man.
Mandy the sheep was
Dolly
the
the sheep
clone.
was the
Dolly
clone.
the sheep was a clone. Yeah.
No, but there was a sheep in Wales that had Chernobyl particles in it on my life. And it at night, you could see it at night. It was fluorescent at night.
He's been watching Only Fools and Horses.
I swear on my life. I swear on my life. That's how big the cloud was.
For the train
You know, the
track.
cloud, it went over the UK, just not very much, but it landed on a sheep. I swear on my
Hold
life.
on. So
Google
nobody
it.
else is
Google it.
affected in the
No, but
UK.
it affected
apart from
one
a
sheep more than anyone else. I swear on my life. And it was in Wales. You can Google it.
Tottenham are now 7 points behind Villa.
How many viewers did we lose with that
Oh, I
interaction?
got a good one for you.
Tottenham are 7 points
I got
behind
a
Villa.
good one for you.
Look at that geezer in the white. That is the personification.
I thought it was Alan Hutton himself there.
That is.
I've got a good one for you, bro. From Lorenzo.
Lorenzo.
Imposter Coglu.
Amarusu.
Imposter Coglu. You having that one?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good
I
pun.
thought you would have ran with that one.
No, I
and
like
kept
it. I might nick it. But I'm going to pass it off as my own. I'll regurgitate that, pass it off as my own.
Pretend you're not impressed till about
Yeah.
2 weeks.
I won't even acknowledge it, and then you'll be listening to Talk Sport, and there'll be someone on there going, Imposter Coglu. Thanks for that, mate.
Smithy says Buvey is half correct, and ACAD says it must have landed on Buvey as well.
Why read that out again? What's wrong with you?
Sorry.
That show, by the way, I might rewatch it. What a show.
Yeah,
On
it's
HBO,
great.
have you seen it?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I know I haven't, but I've heard good
You
things.
love it, man.
I want to watch. I like documentaries more than I like dramas.
That is a bit of a documentary.
The thing,
It's
I
based
wasn't
on real
gonna
life.
watch Baby Reindeer until because I saw it was like, oh, and then I thought, if the guy that's actually happened to is in it, I'll watch it. Harry Brown says, "Who do you
Harry
think
Brown, it's great.
and want to win the championship playoffs?" This is a super chat.
Leeds.
We don't want Leeds.
Yeah,
to
we
win
do.
It.
Harry Brown, what a film that was with
Michael Caine. Michael Caine.
But
So
who
at
was
the
the
moment,
gangster who's the rapper?
The playoffs are.
Yeah.
The playoffs are Leeds, Southampton, Norwich, and West Brom. Hull have an outside chance of finishing there.
No whole
West Brom
city.
lose.
No whole city.
No, it has to be Leeds. Like
No
the
Leeds.
answer-
No
Of
Leeds.
course, Leeds.
No
Don't
Leeds.
say not Leeds. It
I
has
don't
to
want
be
Leeds.
No Leeds.
Why
Fuck
not
off,
Leeds?
Leeds. Fuck off,
If
Leeds.
they've
But
been
why
away
not?
from the league
Fuck 'em.
for a few seasons,
why not?
maybe.
The fans are annoying.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
But at least they matter. At least they're a proper club. At least they have history.
Yeah.
You could
More-
argue that
more than
every team in the
Southampton.
playoffs at the moment are traditional.
No,
league
Hull.
sides.
so not Southampton.
Pull it in there.
Oh, I thought you said
Wait,
Hull.
West
did you-
Brom, Norwich, Southampton, Leeds.
Oh,
Not
fucking
Norwich.
Norwich.
We don't
you
want
can't- you
Norwich.
don't-
Can't have two East Anglia clubs in
So
the
what do
fucking
you want? West
Prem.
Brom up.
We don't want Norwich.
Let me see.
I don't mind West Brom.
Can
It's another
Coventry get
away
in
day
final
close
day?
to home.
Can Coventry get in final day? No
Nah.
Coventry?
By the way, where were all them Coventry fans
Leeds,
that were at Wembley at the
Southampton,
recall
Norwich.
the other day?
West Brom. Leeds, Southampton,
By
Norwich,
the way,
West Brom. Go. Leeds,
where were they?
Southampton, Norwich,
Dick.
West Brom.
It is probably Leeds.
Leeds.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Coventry fans giving it a big one at Wembley. We all support a
Hey,
local
support our
team.
local
and
team.
United fans ain't waving a plastic flag around. You's lot of shit fans. Where were you at the recall for a proper game, you dicks?
They were-
Fucking hell. Don't turn up then, do yous? And yes, I'm beefing with Coventry. That's how bad it's got. Fucking stick that up.
What a
Hadji
terrible
and
set of
Chico.
playoffs. Fuck me.
No,
That's not
Leeds-
terrible.
you
It's
want
quite
Leeds,
good,
man.
man.
There's a set of playoffs. It's terrible.
I think it's great.
Leeds are going to think they can walk it and they're going to.
I don't think they will though. Like I think Leeds will be thinking that they are going to capitulate. I think the belief within the Leeds camp because of how
They'll win it next season.
they've had so much, they might do
They'll
that.
just smash it next season. And Burnley, probably.
I'd love Leeds to make it. up.
James Sims says, Rory, you remind me of James Blunt in a strange way. Because you're
'Cause
beautiful.
I'm beautiful. Yeah. You know, he owns a pub right next to Stamford, like the closest pub to Chelsea. It's a tiny little pub called the Fox and Pheasant. Lovely little pub. Not on a match day. It's owned by James Blunt. It's literally as big as this. And James Blunt bought it.
Luke CX says, why are clubs racing to avoid Thursday nights? It's still a European Cup. Rory will agree with you there.
I completely agree.
Thomas says, how many bananas has Buvey devoured today?
I was out last night, so I'm back onto the Twixes, to be honest. So
Oh, you went out last night?
no healthy.
How did it go on? Good night out?
Yeah, it was a decent night out.
What is a Buvey night out like?
Well,
Do you go out with a big group of lads, a small group of lads? What's it saying?
in London, it's
Because we've
it
never met
varies.
like your friends. I've met a few of Rory's friends.
It's true, actually.
Like we've
Yeah,
never
yeah,
met
yeah.
like I don't know what kind of deviants you hang around with.
No, it's just standard, isn't it? It's just standard. But yeah. Obviously, when I'm hungover,
Have like
It's
loads
different.
of Bristolians just found each other.
They've all come down. All my mates from Bristol slag me off. Only one from Bristol to go to London.
Villa have scored 2-2.
Aston Villa 2,
Wow.
Olympiacos 2, Diaby with the
Mate,
goal.
You have to win this home game.
just to flag it, Chelsea have a set piece. Tottenham can't defend set pieces. This is about to be 3-0. Fact. Watch this.
Cole
Goal.
Palmer on the ball.
Guaranteed goal. Going to shoot, isn't he?
Oh, it's a save.
Wants the goal.
Wow, he doesn't pass.
Save out of
does he?
Vicaria.
He wants. He just
Can't
wants.
pass
He
wins,
just wants
bro.
the golden boot now, doesn't he?
Must be a bit annoying though after a bit. You know, playing
Gotta do
someone
better
like
than
that,
that.
Harry Kane or Kobe, they just keep shooting because it's like, bro, all right, man.
Yeah.
Gotta do
They miss
better.
all.
Although the reason that Chelsea aren't relegated is him. So
Yeah.
I think that anybody getting the hump would have to go. Do you know what? If it wasn't for him, we'd be fighting relegation at the moment. So thank you.
What's the atmosphere at Villa Park? Must be rocking, isn't it? Is it one of their biggest games in a while?
Yeah.
It's
Up there.
conference though, isn't it?
No, but for them, it's,
Olympic-
Although they won the
big
Intertoto
club.
Cup when Schmeichel was there.
But
Remember?
They're a
mate,
big club.
remember, they haven't won any silverware for decades. Like this is huge
What
for
would
them.
it be? 90s?
93,
Mm.
94. They won the League Cup when it was called the Littlewoods
Against
Cup.
us, isn't it? Is that against us?
No, they beat Leeds.
Yeah, we lost.
They beat Leeds. It was Brian Little. They beat Leeds.
Well
Brian
played,
Little.
Palmer.
They used to always be like top at Christmas with Brian Little. Like
Mm.
be involved. Norwich used to be involved in title races back then, though.
Yeah, when they had Mike Walker. Do you remember Mike Walker?
How bad's that to say? Norwich.
Jeremy
Yeah,
Goss.
top of the
Jeremy
Premier
Goss
League.
banging them in. Yeah, they beat Bayern Munich, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
They beat Bayern Munich.
Paul Lambert played for.
What's
Bayern
the,
Munich.
Championship
No, he played for
challenge?
Dortmund.
Oh, Dortmund.
Dortmund played for
that's the one,
Dortmund, won a
sorry.
European Cup.
What's the relegation for Championship saying? I think it's just Birmingham City and Plymouth that can get
Yeah.
relegated now.
Yeah, it's annoying.
And Sheffield Wednesday.
I think I've got a bad feeling they could go as well. Yeah, I think it has to be Birmingham now because of the teams. Like I really don't want Wednesday to go.
Birmingham can stay up on the last day of the season, but they need Plymouth Argyle to lose or draw, and for them to win. I think
Hope
Blues will
Plymouth
be at
stay up.
home. They took the lead
Sheffield
against
Wednesday,
Huddersfield
man.
in the last game as
No, they're
well.
staying up, man.
What Wednesday are they
Yeah,
up?
Wednesday are out, yeah.
Oh,
It's
thank
just
God.
one side.
Okay, well,
Huddersfield
out
are down, Rotherham are down.
so it's Plymouth or
Yeah, 'cause
Plymouth
the
or
goal
Birmingham.
difference too big of a
Plymouth
swing.
and Birmingham City.
But Birmingham messed up by sacking your man and then bringing in Rooney, didn't
I
they?
want Birmingham to stay up rather than Plymouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Plymouth.
Birmingham always make it. They always do it. Harry Redknapp
Considering
went
it's
in
my
there and kept them
local
up last
area
day
as
of
well,
the
I
season.
wouldn't mind, like, you don't want another League One team.
No, Birmingham are a much bigger club than Plymouth as well. Like you'd rather have Birmingham.
But it could be a long way back. Once you're out,
Yeah.
it's a long. And
God.
whenever you're in the Championship, there's always a chance you sneak a playoff.
Look at Portsmouth. They've been out of it for 4 or 5 years, I
Yeah.
think. It wasn't.
Great. to see
They're
them
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big club. Bigger than Southampton.
I remember that fella that used to just ring a bell.
Yeah, John Portsmouth.
Yeah.
That's all. I've
Changed his
met
name
him.
to
I half know him. He used to do all the England games.
Buvey, is this true? SDH says, I saw Buvey on Made in Chelsea.
No.
Not true?
No.
I went to New York with someone from Made in Chelsea.
Who?
Miles? Is that his name?
No idea. What, for a show?
No, I went for the fight.
I might have been in the
Joshua
background.
Ruiz fight.
I might have been in the background. I've got
No,
some
but
mates
you
that live in
know-
Chelsea. Got a
No,
night
but
out,
you-
maybe.
No, but they'd
It's
have
all-
to release for me.
Yeah.
And it's all like pre-planned, isn't it? It's none of that.
Yeah.
What if it's Chelsea Bridge or something like that?
Scripted reality. No.
Chelsea Bridge? Yeah.
W-
Is there
what-
even a bridge called Chelsea Bridge?
Yeah, it's Chelsea Bridge. But
Yeah.
what?
Oh, bet that goes in!
Just walking about in the background, like
You'd
50 metres away.
Almost definitely.
Great
not.
tackle.
I mean, look, if the guy spotted you, then he spotted you. But I think you'd know. By the way, is there a penalty here? There is. Olympiacos Penoir, and he scored 3-2.
Ooh.
Great game there. How funny is
Penoir.
Tottenham, by the way? How funny is
I've just noticed it's nearly 90 minutes. You bullied them.
Got a few
Really?
super chats, got to read them out. Let this chance just fizzle out.
better fizzle out?
Oh,
Handball.
it's not handball. Madison.
Madison.
Oh, it would have been funny if he scored. Mindcracker
Mullet.
says, how many seasons do you think it takes Wrexham to make the Prem with the financial backing they have? It's a realistic proper.
I pray never.
With the commercial revenue they're bringing, it could be happening sooner than we think.
I pray never.
We've got another poem from Thomas
He
Hernandez.
loves it, doesn't he?
Is he paying money for these?
$10 bill, yeah.
$10 bill. What's
He's
that
all
in
about the
GBP?
Benjamins.
What's that in £9 in? What's the
$8.50.
conversion?
I reckon
$8.50, so
$8.50.
About £3 each.
I'll
In the
take
realm
that.
of
Fuck
romance,
me.
Buvey's a swinger, a suave Casanova, a real humdinger. With a wink and a smile, he charms one and all. In the game of love, he stands tall and all.
They were better. before.
I don't know. I
that's
thought that was quite a
good.
good one.
They're
That.
getting
The
better.
beginning there was
They're
very
getting
good.
worse, I think.
The beginning
He's
there was
running
very
out of
good.
ideas.
No, the sort of couplet and the way
analysed
that
it,
it flows.
Yeah.
I think he's very good.
Iambic
Lovely,
pentameter.
Caicedo. Go on,
He's off.
go, Cole Palmer.
Oh, you're so shit, man. Who was that never released the ball?
Go on,
Jackson.
Spurs. Go on, Spurs.
Jackson.
Go on, Spurs.
Shut up.
Go on.
Shut up.
Yeah, it would
Go
be
on.
funny, though.
Shut up.
Oh, Bentancur's missed a
Mugs.
sitter.
Mugs.
Get now.
Mugs.
A goal there would have been fun.
He has good PR as well, Bentancur.
Bentancur.
Bentancur, innit?
Benti. Oh, Bentancur.
Darren Bentancur.
Oh, Bentancur.
He has good PR.
Who, Bentancur?
Yeah, they all have good PR.
I don't know if it's. Do you know how much I hate Tottenham? Like, I'm so happy with this. I really am. Like, you know. I don't know if you ever get this, but I'm sometimes told you're not meant to hate. Hating isn't
Yeah.
good.
My mum
I
said
hate
that.
Tottenham.
Hate's too strong.
Hate's a strong word.
I hate them.
No, I hate Liverpool.
I hate them.
Arsenal.
If Spurs offered you a player's
Proper hate.
contract now,
What
you
money?
can play a season from August.
He loves money. That's the problem.
No.
His love of money.
You can be a professional footballer from the start of August.
Yeah, to play for Tottenham.
Yeah.
That would be so good for me for so many reasons. I'm so shit. They wouldn't win any game with me on the pitch and I'd be a millionaire.
But okay, it's not about you being rubbish for them. You magically get better at football for one season.
Okay.
But you have to play for Spurs.
Yeah, I'd take it. I'd love to play
he
Premier League
wouldn't
football,
change
mate.
his Twitter handle though, so he'd still
Yeah.
be Chelsea Rory.
Yeah. I would love to play Premier
The
League
question in the
football,
back think you'd win them a trophy.
No, the question is
Oh, if they win a trophy,
Champions League final penalty against Chelsea. If you score it, you get another season as a player on
No,
player wages.
I'll have one
On
season.
player
I'll
wages.
have one season and I'll Chris Waddle it over the bar.
But if you score it, you get 250 grand a week as a professional footballer
you're
for
not
one
that
more
good, though.
season.
You tried Sky it and score it.
No, I'm a lethal penalty taker. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not a good foot. You know, I've constantly flagged.
Lethal.
I'm not a good penalty
That's
taker.
a big word.
I'm a lethal penalty. You've seen my penalties in action.
Lethal's
You've
a
seen me
big word.
leather it at Ibrox into the top corner. You've seen that with your own
Lethal's
eyes.
a big word.
No, I've literally never missed a professional penalty.
Yeah,
in my life.
not missing is not
Not
the same as
taking
lethal.
professional-
No, I
penalties,
have
isn't it?
taken professional penalties.
Professional?
Yes. I've been paid on the day that made me a professional footballer that day. I was paid to play football. That day I was a professional footballer. That's what my profession that day was a footballer.
There's amateurs getting
He's
paid.
not
out
in
there.
The other
clowns,
day
man.
I
There's
played
amateurs out there.
No,
getting
the
paid.
other day I played football for TalkSport and I was paid. That made me a professional
you
footballer.
were paid to interview someone, weren't you, or something? Were you holding a mic? I thought you were
Yeah,
holding a
I
mic.
was a professional footballer that
No,
day.
you were paid
so
to
I have
you
never
were
missed
paid
a
to
professional
create
football.
content. You weren't.
No, I was playing football.
If you're a professional footballer, you
I
have to
was-
sign an agreement with the PFA.
No, I played
Did
football.
you sign an agreement with the PFA?
I
that you were a
linked up-
registered football player.
But me,
No.
Darren Bent,
You were
Darren
on the
Ambrose.
you weren't you were on
Phil
the
Brown.
PFA.
No.
You were on the PFA.
I am
You
a
don't even know what
professional
the
footballer.
PFA is.
I have never missed a professional penalty. I don't know. You've seen me. Look at the first tile upon my Instagram
Making some
account.
videos for CFC Fan TV don't make you a professional
got a super
footballer.
chat
Go
from
on,
Mr.
to
Janus.
go on to Chelsea Rory. Go on to Chelsea Rory on Instagram.
Hello.
Look at the first tile. It's me lashing in a professional penalty at Ibrox and Buvey celebrating it and acknowledging that it was lethal.
No, it wasn't lethal. I never said it was lethal.
It hit the top corner. It literally smashed.
You know,
Go to Chelsea Rory now. Go to Chelsea Rory now.
Adriano's got a
First
lethal
tile.
left foot. You don't have a lethal left foot.
I literally
You've got a good
lashed
left
it
foot.
into the
You've
top
got-
corner.
it's
It was
not
my right
lethal.
foot. I literally lashed
thought
it
you
into
said
the
you
top corner.
left-footed.
I'm both footed, mate.
Can you tell me who sent that super chat and read it out? Super chat.
No, because I can't quite work that out. But I'm not.
Mr.
you've
Janus.
Okay, no. There is something in Chelsea. They turn up for the big
From
games,
you.
even if they don't always get a result. If they can get their stuff together against the middle teams,
You
They
didn't
could be
read the
near
bit
the
I
top
wanted you to
again.
read out.
no, I'm not reading that. Thank you very much for your super chat. And yeah, we will be
Thank you,
back
Mr.
to the
Janus.
we will be back to the top very soon. But look, Chelsea beat Tottenham. You haven't learned anything today. Chelsea beat Tottenham. It's like saying water is wet. It's like saying you need oxygen to breathe.
Sky is blue.
The sky's blue and the river is deep. Chelsea beat
Are
Tottenham.
we all left-handed? Someone's just asked. We
I'm
are, innit?
lefty.
I'm a
But
lefty.
you kick with your right.
I'm a left-hander, but then I can take corners either side. You know when I play
You kick the ball with your right foot.
when I play professional
Wait a
football,
minute, I don't get
I
that.
take a corner on the right side with my right foot and a corner on the left side with my left side. I am that kind of footballer.
I don't know if you're taking the piss on.
No, I'm serious.
just trying to.
You think I'm left-footed because you've seen me lash it home with my left foot so many times, but I'm actually right-footed. And if you watch that penalty,
you're right-footed.
I'm right-footed, but I scored lots of goals with my left foot.
You're right with your left.
But yes, we're all left-footed. We're all left-handed.
I'm very similar. I play tennis with my right.
I'm left. Chelsea won against Spurs. 2-0. Go on, bro.
We've battered Tottenham, as we always do. It's what we do. There is no surprise here. Anybody that came into this game thinking that there was even a chance that Chelsea wouldn't win this game doesn't understand football. Chelsea are superior to Tottenham. Chelsea are far too good for Tottenham. And what is very important to acknowledge here, Chelsea were brilliant. Trevor Chalobah is the absolute boy. And at some point, we really do need to have a conversation about the fraud that is Imposter Coglu.
Why do we need to have that conversation?
Because he is constantly getting it wrong and nobody is flagging it. In the last 6 games, I reckon his team have conceded 20 goals. His team, at every single time they face a set piece, they look like scoring goals. I've heard him speaking all week, at least on 4 occasions, separate occasions. I've heard Postecoglou go, no, we have no issue defending. We have no issue with set pieces. We are very competent with set pieces. We are confident in the way that we approach set pieces. And a cross comes in, Trevor Chalobah, bang, wallop, have that. We are too good for them. But today, as much as I want to focus on Tottenham and explore why it's gone wrong, today belongs to Trevor Chalobah. What a man. And that cross from Conor Gallagher.
Clean sheet as well.
It's a clean sheet, which is rare.
Second half,
rare.
I think Spurs caused a few issues for you in the first half, a few. But second half, I looked at the clock at 1 minute.
They were 2-0 down and they did nothing,
we've been having a good stream. It was a good, and you bullied them the whole game. You bullied them the whole game. It's
SK
so
says,
poor.
this is our DNA, just Chelsea fan. We could be in the Championship and wouldn't lose to Spurs.
It's true. We wouldn't. We just don't get beat by Tottenham. We are simply too good for them.
And Johnny says this is the first time Chelsea have seen a game out.
We've done the double over Tottenham. Like in our worst season, with the worst, at the beginning of this stream when we put up the team, I was like, that's the worst Premier League 11 that we've ever had. And yet we beat Tottenham 2-0.
Who are fifth.
How do you feel about Pochettino tonight?
I don't want Pochettino to be Chelsea manager. I never want to see Pochettino in the home dugout ever again. I hope Pochettino is sacked in the next few weeks. But I'm delighted that we've beaten Tottenham today. I mean, good things can happen with him at the helm. I just think better things can happen with someone else at the helm, almost anyone else. I imagine Pochettino will be gutted.
36% of Jackson's goals have come against Spurs.
Mate, sign him up for life. That's all I ask
Lifetime
for him.
contract.
Yeah, lifetime contract.
Mate.
Sign him up. What a man. Yeah, over the moon with that. Loved it. There's Terry Komatsu again. See Terry dancing?
No, I didn't see that.
You missed him, mate. You got to focus.
I didn't see him.
He is like a Chelsea
the glow-in-the-dark
icon.
Chelsea badge on his
Yeah.
chest. We are sponsored by Super 6. Thank you very much, Super 6, for sponsoring us. We absolutely appreciate it. And you guys can benefit from that as well. It's a free-to-play game. Click the link in the description below. Download the app. If you're 18 and over, you can get stuck in, predict 6 scores. You could win £250,000. It's that easy. And there'll be another round this weekend. So now's the time to get stuck in. Buvey, any words?
No, Spurs are shocking and Chelsea have got some sort of, optimism there. It's probably the best moment of their season. Not too bad.
Yeah, doing the double over Tottenham,
Yeah, it's not too
absolutely. Doing the double over Tottenham is huge and can paper over a lot of cracks. Over the moon with that. Thank you so much to everybody for watching. Chelsea 2, Tottenham 0. It's a good day.